everybody, and welcome to the United Stand. I'm Mark Goldbridge, and it is what some people are describing as the Goldbridge derby. It's Burnley versus Manchester United. If you know, you know. Wout Weghorst, and also big news that potentially we're hearing that that Cristiano Ronaldo is not going to start this game. Ronaldo has been benched, and Lorenzo says, "Please let Ronaldo be benched." I find this absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. No, not that he's been benched. Anybody can be benched. You know, no one should be above being benched. But I do wonder about the modern football fan that supposedly support Manchester United and revel in the fact that Cristiano Ronaldo is being benched. I just don't get. I don't get the modern football fan. I really don't. That thinks like that. I don't get it. I mean, who is your god? Paul Pogba? Is it Bruno Fernandes? I don't get it. I do not get it. One of the greatest players that's ever played the game. One of Man United's biggest legends in Premier League history. And people are celebrating being benched when Rashford's going to start, who was total crap on Friday night. So, I don't get it. I don't get it. But look, anybody can be benched. Donny van der Beek's back on the bench. It's just the blue one. It's an Everton bench. Why the fuck go to Everton to sit on their bench? Oh, it's only their first game, Mark. It's only his first game at Everton. If you get a good player on loan and you're playing a really important game away from home against Newcastle, you start the player. No. He's got to adjust. He's got to start a bench. I tell you, I don't know. But anyway, we've not had the official team news come through yet, but we're expecting Cristiano Ronaldo to be benched and Marcus Rashford to start, which means Cavani goes straight into the team despite an extended holiday. Contradictions. But we should have enough to beat Burnley. I know that's going to be my famous last words, but we should do. Anyway, before we get into any of that, you'll see in the link in the video description, we're sponsored by Boohoo Man. How apt. Let's hope I'm not a boohoo man tonight. It's February and Valentine's Day is just around the corner. So it's time for you to get active in the love department. And Boohoo Man have provided some Valentine's Day date ideas for all you lovers out there. So let's see if these tips get the Goldbridge seal of approval. So here we go. So let's have a look. Date idea 1. The classic stay at home, cook a romantic meal and avoid the rip-off prices. Then throw a movie on and a cuddle. I quite fancy that. Depends who I'm cuddling. Don't want to be cuddling Harry Maguire or anything like that. Date idea 2, recreate your first date. This requires a bit of work, but is guaranteeing to impress your significant other. My first date was probably McDonald's on a Saturday lunchtime and then ending it early so I could pop down to HMV and get the first edition of Sensible Soccer World of Football. I'm off home to play it. Date idea 3, wine and chocolates at sunset. Another classic. It's nice and simple and always gives you the perfect moment for a cheeky kiss. Wine and chocolates at sunset. That is in the evening. I don't really like wine and chocolates. Anyway, because Boohoo Man want you to look your best on Valentine's Day, they've given us an amazing discount. Listen up, because this is a little complicated. When you use the code United Stand, you'll get your usual 40% off. However, you will get an additional 10% off after the discount has been applied. This extra 10% off applies to everything on the site, except for certain sale items. All you've got to do is hit the link in the description, use the code United Stand to get that great discount. And thanks very much to Boohoo Man for supporting the United Stand. And now gets on with the show. One way or the other, Boohoo Man's going to win, aren't they? Because, if Burnley win, they might win. But we'll see what happens. Okay, the lineup's out. Is there a PO box bridge to send gifts to Apollo 30X? Yeah, well, no, because it's not fair on everybody. Imagine the hate mail I'd get. But look, links in the video description, 40% off. Boohoo Man. He didn't play well last game. No one above the club. Let's not go against the manager because he benched Ronaldo. It's right as the manager, in my opinion. Red Baron, I respect you. You've given us a lot of super chats in the past. Don't tell me what to think. You're just going to get my back up. I'm very tense tonight. It's Burnley. I'm very tense. Don't tell me what to think. Don't tell me it's right to drop Ronaldo when you're picking fucking Rashford. That's my issue. Drop Rashford before you drop Ronaldo. That's my opinion. So, that's my... I don't mind people being dropped, but what the fuck is Marcus Rashford starting this game for? And he'll probably score and everyone will go, Rangnick's genius, but I don't agree with it. I'm sorry. And that's what it's all about. I do not agree with Ronaldo being dropped and Rashford starting. I don't agree with it. De Gea, Delot, Varane, Maguire, Shaw, McTominay, Pogba, Bruno, Sancho, Cavani, Rashford. That's the team. So, I've got to be honest. I'm not happy with it. I'm not happy with that team. You can call me a Ronaldo fanboy. I'm actually not. I don't really care that McTominay's starting and he's not really a player I like. I don't really like Maguire. I'm not bothered that he's starting, but I don't agree with this. I think it's... I don't hopefully it won't have a massive impact on the results. But, Ronaldo did put in his worst performance against Borough on Friday, but I thought Rashford was absolutely trash. I think he's been trash for weeks, and I think he'd be better off the bench. And I think he's missed a trick by not starting Elanga. But you know what? If he dropped Ronaldo and Rashford, I'd agreed with it. I think he's got it half right and half wrong tonight, and I wouldn't have started Marcus Rashford in this game. But at some point, he's got to have a big game. And of course, very happy with the team, says Anthony Jury. Of course, it means Sancho will be playing off the left and Rashford will be playing off the right. So, we've got to get crosses into the box. If you're going to play Cavani, you've got to put a cross in the box. But look, Ronaldo played badly on Friday. Can't really argue with him being dropped if you're going to pick people on form. Having said that, I don't agree with Rashford starting. I think that's a mistake. Why not start Lingard? Why not start Elanga? But it's raining in Burnley, I can tell you that. Weghorst starts. Bradley Johnson says as well, you've got to think about the fact that he played 120 minutes on Friday, and at age 37, maybe it's the game to rest him in. Very happy with the team, says Anthony Jury. There's some live scenes from the ground as well. Burnley. That's Burnley on a sunny day there. That's actually from the summer. Burnley there. That's not even live pictures, but that's just a normal night in Burnley. Peak July, I think that was taken. But no, seriously, that's now. It's raining. It's wet. Well, that's obvious when it's raining. It's dark, and that's Burnley. This is Deitch. I've got the rain. I've got Weghorst. I've got Tarkowski. I don't know who he's got, actually. Let me just go through that Burnley team for you. But, yeah, you know what? A lot of people will be happy with that team. So let's have a quick look at what we've got. So Lindelof's not back yet. Still ill. There's the bench. Jones, Wan-Bissaka, Matic, Fred, Ronaldo, Mata, Elanga. No Lingard, which is interesting. Oh, there is a Lingard there. Okay. Is he the only one who's missing then? Yeah, so Lingard is on the bench. I can confirm that as well. So Ronaldo was wasteful the other day, but would have liked him to start. Is this trying to appease Cavani, says Casper? I don't know. Mate. You know what? I don't know. I think I'm not going to contradict what I said last night. Ronaldo is not going to make a decision on leaving at the moment. One game does not make a season, and he can still score lots of goals. Donny's on the bench as well, Ren. Yeah, if you're interested in that, Donny van der Beek is on the bench for Everton. So yeah, he's not playing tonight, Peter. He's been benched as well. Nothing new there. And let's just go to this Burnley lineup, because I think we've had it confirmed that Weghorst is going to start. United Stand has got more followers on Twitter than Burnley have. They've got 640,000 and United Stand's got 999. So starting pushing for 1 million tonight, United Stand. If you've not given us a follow, give us a follow on Twitter. We could hit 1 million followers on Twitter tonight, which you don't do very often. In fact, not many people do. Starting 11 for Burnley: Pope, Roberts, Tarkowski, me, Peters, McNeil, Brownhill, Westwood, Cornet, Weghorst, Rodriguez. So they are going with their front two, and Weghorst and Rodriguez will be very physical. I saw a very interesting thing today about how United, it was basically about possession areas, and every team in the league seemed to have areas of possession on the pitch. It was like grids. Burnley's areas of possession were ridiculous. Like we've got to win this game today. Regardless of team selections, we have to win. Rashford starts, Ronaldo drop. Make this make sense. I actually hate this club, says Arjun. So Cavani chose to have a few days extra instead of helping us in the cup and gets rewarded for it. This is what's wrong with this club, says Sean Turner. And Ollie probably still picks the team, losing patience with this short-term plan. Well, you know what, actually? Fair play. It's always about opinion. And it's interesting that some people are pulling up points that I think, some people may feel are valid. Cavani got an extra couple of days off, which he never should have had. That should not have been authorised, but Ranić did. He starts the game tonight. Ronaldo, who, you know, always is available, always wants to play, gets benched. Elanga misses a penalty on Friday night. He got a perfect opportunity to start him in the game and boost his confidence, having played well away to Villa and Brentford. He's on the bench. Rashford, who was awful on Friday night, starts again. Make it make sense. You know, I can't make it make sense. I suppose Rangnick's got a plan, and you've just got to trust that plan. But you know, I personally, I think you can't. It doesn't make sense for everybody going, yeah, go on, Ralph, dropping Ronaldo. It makes sense. He was shit on Friday. I will say, Rashford. You know, there's a ready-made replacement for Rashford in Elanga. Why is he not drop both of them? You know, but at some point it will work. Of course it will work at some point. Rashford is going to score a goal at some point. Why can't we get Ronaldo to score under Rangnick, Sir Nigel Farage? To be honest with you, on the Ronaldo thing, I personally think that Rangnick would prefer to start Cavani anyway, because the style of football that he plays, I think he prefers Cavani. But, you know, whisper it, shout it out loud. I think that is the truth. Also, we've got Ronaldo played 120 minutes on Saturday. No, he didn't. UFC. He played on Friday night. Ralph has to manage Ronaldo well, to be honest, and we're playing a lot of games this month. I mean, look, that might be a valid point. But, you know, actually, I think it's, you know what? Bullshit. I'm not having that. I'm not having that. 120 minutes on Friday, so he can't play on Tuesday. He's 37. He's only 37 when it suits people's agenda. Like, he's done the fitness tests. His body is the equivalent of a 30-year-old. You know, those tests have been done. You can't have it one way and then have it the other when it suits you. The reality is he's dropped him. He's dropped him. I wouldn't have dropped him, but he has dropped him. Respect the fact that he's dropped him and stop searching for excuses about squad rotation. I'm sure that will be the reason, but what's the harder game? Burnley away or Southampton at home? Burnley away. It's the harder game. You know, I'm sure you could have played him tonight and then not started him on Saturday. To be honest with you, I don't really feel like it's a massive talking point. Well, it is, obviously, when Ronaldo doesn't play, but I don't really feel like, oh my God, Rangnick doesn't know what he's doing. I like Rangnick. I don't agree with dropping Ronaldo, but I'm not fuming about it. You know, Cavani's a good player. You know, what if Ronaldo was injured? I wouldn't be fussed about Cavani starting. To me, the thing I disagree with is Rashford starting. That's the one that pisses me off, because it means Sancho will be playing off the left again and Rashford will be playing off the right again. And I'd rather Elanga start. Maybe his thought process was Burnley are a physical team. That's why he went with Rashford instead of Elanga. Oh, yeah, John, because old Marcus has proved his physicality over the last 6 months, hasn't he? You can't stop for compilations of Rashford putting his weight around and, you know, knocking people about. Maybe. You talk about the style of football he likes to play. Have we seen that style yet? This really does feel like Ollie. Ronaldo should be starting, says Arjun. Fine with Ronaldo starting, but then should Rashford be benched as well, says SJ. Van der Beek went from Man United bench to Everton bench. Please make it make sense. Well, look, Ollie, it's only his first game, you know, but I think Donny should have been starting tonight. I really do. But look, that's Everton. That's not us. I said at the time, I think Donny should have gone to Crystal Palace, and I'll say it again. Donny should have gone to Crystal Palace, but you know, obviously wanted to stay in the northwest, and obviously he's gone to Everton. I expect him to probably be benched quite a lot there, to be honest. You know, you're not going to prove yourself without starting games, and if he can't start games, he's not going to prove himself. But we'll have to wait and see. People use Ronaldo's age as an excuse every time he gets dropped, but come on, he's a physical beast. This probably isn't the reason. I don't think it is, Daniel. I think Rangnick might come out and say that, but I don't think it's the reason at all. I think that he's been dropped. It's as simple as that. So no, you can't. As long as it's not match footage, I think it's fine. That's all right. We need to CDM someone like Tchouameni, Cooks, or Thiago Mendes, says Ethan. Well, interestingly, we're all talking about Ronaldo, but what about the rest of the team? Do you have any issues with the rest of the team? My honest answer is no. Tellez has got COVID. Fred has got COVID. Obviously, De Gea comes back in. Delow should start over Wan-Bissaka. Maguire, no Lindelof on the bench anyway, so that makes sense. Midfield three of Pogba, Bruno, and McTominay does make sense. He could have gone with Matic in the midfield, admittedly. I'd have been very surprised if it had done that. I think the only two for me that really, you know, for me, If you're dropping Ronaldo, you drop Rashford. If you're starting Ronaldo, you drop Rashford. there's a common thing there. I wanted Elanga to start, and you know what? I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Marcus Rashford, but I'm not a big fan of his current form, and I don't think he justifies a start. But as I said, people talk about Rashford like we might sell him. We'll play him until he scores goals, and then we'll keep playing him. And if he doesn't score goals, we'll still pick him. I think Rashford's very, very valuable to this football club. And as I've said time and time again, United will pick players that are high-profile players, and he's a high-profile player. So, having said that, I suppose I'm a little bit contradictory because there you go, some footage from inside the ground. That's where it's all going to be. I'm surprised there's not a big. I'm surprised. I think when the Burnley fans come in, they're going to unveil a big mural, or whatever you call it, of me and Veghurst. They've got to know who we are, haven't they? They've got to know who United Stand are. There's been so many piss takes over the years, mainly of them taking a piss out of me, to be fair. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. How can Ronaldo get into a scoring rhythm when he's not playing, says Nigel Farage. You know what? I don't want to turn it into a big thing because it's not the fact that he's been dropped. Anybody can be dropped. And there'll be a lot of fans who are actually glad he's been dropped because we have this sort of weird thing going on in our fan base. But it's more about the fact that he's certain other people haven't been dropped. Elanga needed game time to move on. I agree, Zephyr. There's the time, kickoff times. I'm interested by that. Let me have a look a lot. 5 o'clock kickoff in Buenos Aires, 7 o'clock in the morning in Canberra, 3 o'clock in the morning in India. No, that's not. It's 1:30 in India. Goldbridge, geography bridge is terrible. Tokyo, 5 a.m. New Delhi, 1:30. Moscow, 11 o'clock. Dublin, same as us, 8 o'clock. Vancouver, 12 o'clock. New York, 3 o'clock. LA, 12 o'clock. So there you go. New Zealand, Mark, can't see it. Don't know. I'd guess New Zealand kickoff is probably 9 o'clock in the morning or something like that. We need to get Ronaldo back scoring before Atleti, says Sir Nigel Farage. Well, funnily enough, our poll was, will Ronaldo score tonight? To which 52% of you said yes. Well, he's not starting, remember. Mark, I hope you're well. Just want to ask, what's your McDonald's order? Says always done swiftly. I don't really like McDonald's anymore. So if I was going to McDonald's, I'd have one of two. I'd have a Big Mac meal or I'd have a McChicken sandwich meal. That's about it. Yeah. Mexico kickoff time. Not sure about that. I know there's a lot of fans all around the world and all around the world. A lot of people saying that you're nervous, Mark. Obviously, it is Burnley. Please smash a like on the video and subscribe. Big shout out to Boohoo Man, who are sponsoring our show, by the way. 40% off with the code United Stand. I'm chilling in my Boohoo Man stuff tonight. Am I nervous? No, I'm not nervous. I've refused to do a prediction because I don't want to be blamed for any jinx powers tonight. I'm not nervous, though. I'm pretty relaxed. So read into that what you think, but I'm not nervous. I've got a good feeling about tonight in relation to the result because I don't think Burnley, and this is not rocket science, I don't think Burnley are very good this year. Ronaldo's our best player. I don't think we are really in a position to rest or drop him, wherever it may be. I think Ralph has made a mistake here, says Sean Turner. And if you must cross a course, cross cow, across a crowded cow, crossing, cross the course. Oh, okay. 3-0 says Hans. And Harry Maguire against Harry Potter's best mate, bearded Voldemort on Burnley's touchline shouting spells. Matteo, oh dear. Harry Potter references. Let's hope we're not doing that. Hope Josh King gives Zuma a good kicking tonight. See how he likes it, says Joshua Bowater. And I disagree with Ronaldo being dropped and Rashford starting, but I agree with the team. When's the last time we had a consistent starting 11, says Raven. Well, it's not a consistent starting 11 if it's a changed 11, is it? I don't really get the point there. Wrong decision to bench Ronaldo. Would I have done it? No, I wouldn't have done it. I'd never bench Ronaldo. And look, it's Sir Alex Ferguson who said that when Ollie did it. I don't think you bench your best player. And the reason I would not have benched Ronaldo is because he is the most elite sportsman in football, mentality-wise, or one of. And he knows he played shit against Middlesbrough. And I just think he would have, the same reason I would have started Elanga. I think he would have been up for this game. And I would have, that's why we did the poll. I would have fancied him to score. So, but Cavani is better than Ronaldo current form. No. What? Because he put a cross in against West Ham when he came on as a sub. I don't agree with that. But that's your opinion. That's well. So I would not have. I would have started Ronaldo, but I wouldn't have started Rashford. So that's the only thing I would have changed. But I'm not the manager. You're not the manager, and I think hopefully we'll have enough anyway. To be honest with you, Ronaldo always wants to play when Cavani wants to rest, says Sir Nigel Farage. And but you know what? If I'm absolutely honest as well, Cavani is a decent player. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And where's he? When is he ever going to start a game if you don't drop Ronaldo? To be fair, like if Cavani's going to start a game, he's not going to play him off the wing, is he? And we're not going to play two up front. So yeah, I think he's in this sort of a game. Maybe they think I don't know. Maybe Cavani will start on Saturday if we win. So. I don't think we can. You can never look further than the next game, and I think Ricky always says it. It's hard to predict when you don't know what the team news is going to be. Are you doing FPL next season, mate? We all know how it ends. Quitting mid-season is always done swiftly. Cavani, I disagree heavily with this team, says Jordan Robinson. Well, let us know why. Let us know why. Look, Burnley don't concede many goals, and they don't score many goals. We're a very good defensive side with Varane in the team. We've got David De Gea back. I know people want to predict that Burnley are going to cause us problems tonight, and you can never say never. They are playing Liverpool next as well, and I think it's safe to say that Liverpool will dispatch Burnley because they're just way better than them. I'm finding it really hard to look at BT at the moment. If you know, you know. Atletico lost 4-2 to Barca. What do you think? Says Isco. And best team he could have picked, Elanga debatable, says Cavi. Well, Cavi, let's debate it. Why would you pick Marcus Rashford? I mean, I think that's a valid point. We're not talking about personality. If you hate Marcus Rashford or you hate Cristiano Ronaldo, go and look in the mirror and ask yourself why you hate people, because I don't understand that mentality. I'm judging this on footballing ability, and I'm asking you, why does Marcus Rashford deserve to start a game? I can't remember the last time he started a game and played well. And against Middlesbrough, he was absolutely shocking. So why would you start him? I wouldn't. I thought he was crap against Borough and he should have been dropped. And Ranić's done that with Ronaldo, so I would question why he's not done it with Rashford. But I'm not the manager. Mark, it's crazy, but only people in our club who want to stay are the ones who are not wanted by anyone else, like Fred, Maguire, McSauce, Mata and Matic. Need to bring better players in, not a huge profile, says Ronald Jacob. I don't think you should ever focus on anything with a narrow mind. And what I mean by that is you can't just look short term and ignore the long term, but you can't look long term and ignore the short term. You've got to have an eye on both. You've basically got to be look a bit odd because one eye's got to go one way and one eye's got to go the other. In the short term, United may do well. In the long term, I think we're screwed. And that's how I feel at the moment. So if you're looking for positives, let's focus on the short term. If you're looking for negatives, there's a big concern about the long term. I accept that. But we're playing Burnley in 40 minutes, and that's very short term. So let's just focus on this. I agree with Ranić. I think we are playing better football. Cavani for Ronaldo is not a bad thing to do. It's not. And Marcus Rashford at some point is going to do something good because he's a good player. So it wouldn't surprise me if we win tonight and then people are saying that Ronaldo's got to stay on the bench like they did with Maguire, like they did with Rashford. And to be honest with you, that's probably the right thing. Man, looking at the league table, the fight for fourth place is more exciting than the first place. I wish it was the opposite, says Daniel. I don't know. I think Liverpool have got something to say about that. What threat does Weghorst pose? Is he even good at Quidditch, says Pregash? Well, apparently Weghorst is not, and this is from the words of Ranić. Apparently, Weghorst is not your typical target man. But yeah, I mean, Droid's telling me he's 6'6", but Ranić says he's not your typical sort of hold-up player. He's obviously physical, but he's not your typical sort of target man. So we will see. I know about him on FIFA. Mark, I've always loved Cavani and used to always want him to start, but I hardly think it matters as neither Eddie or Ronaldo gets service as Karamu. And football ability, Rashford shouldn't be in the squad at the minute. Can't understand the fuss about a 37-year-old Ronaldo not playing, says Mark. I think we need to move on from it for sure. Right, let's end that poll because we've done that. 53% said Ronaldo will score, but obviously he's not going to. Well, he might do. He might score. He might score. But the total poll: 18,000 people voted. Will Ronaldo score tonight? 52% said no, and 47% said yes. So there you go. I'm going to set another poll for you now, and we will see how that goes. You will see it in a minute. No. Right, there's a new poll coming up there. It's basically about the result. United win, draw, or Burnley win. Get your votes in. Let's talk about the game. So Burnley play a 4-4-2. They'll be very combative. They will look to win free kicks and second balls. They're not the sort of team that... This game is not going to be out of our reach. Now, I'm fully aware that we lost to Watford 4-1, but against Burnley, they're not going to be 3-0 up at half-time. This game is going to be there for United to win this game, probably throughout the whole game. And what I mean by that is Burnley aren't going to get away from us. If Burnley are going to win this, we're probably going to have to not score. For Burnley to get a draw, it's probably going to have to be 1-1. What are you doing with that? So it's sad to see even in 2022, people are still racially abusing Elanga for missing the penalty. There is a way to give positive criticism. No tournament is bigger than a human. Please be kind to everyone, says Ronald Jacob. Thanks for the nice message, Ronald. I mean, as I said before, though, the Elanga criticism is just ridiculous because all it is racists who aren't even football fans. Like, I heard nobody in our live chat, Watchalong, Match Reaction, social media. I never saw anybody have a pop at Elanga. I didn't see it once. So, you know, I think as football fans, we need to call out the racism, but we need to stop the discussion because, not about racism, we don't, but about the football. There is no need to go, Elanga shouldn't be getting any criticism because he didn't get any criticism. He just had racial abuse from racists, which is unacceptable and needs to be investigated by the social media companies and the police. But in a footballing sense, they're using football, they're infiltrating football to be racist. They're not football fans. So Elanga does not need to worry about missing that bloody penalty. He doesn't. No, I've not heard anybody criticise him at all, and he doesn't need to worry about that, which is why I would have started him in this game. Just give him some positivity. Best thing to happen to United is a big spend in the summer. Rice is screaming, sign me from previous comments. We just need a stronger CDM. United win 2-2, says Apollo. Based on Ronaldo's performance, he deserves to be dropped, but Ralph needs to make it consistent. How are Maguire, Rashford and McTominay playing, says Ryan FTW. I think in the case of Harry Maguire, he's got to start. You know, it's him or Phil Jones. Welcome to Members Club, Lewis. In the case of Scott McTominay, there's no Freds. Would you start Matic? He's probably got to start. But I agree with you on Rashford. I wouldn't have stopped him. Goldbridge, just because you didn't see it doesn't mean it didn't happen. There's multiple screenshots of the abuse Elanga has received, says Leskip Bayliss. Mark, they are. You can find screenshots of anybody saying anything, Leskip. The reality is there was never a weight of opinion calling out Elanga. It was a tiny minority. I'm not even going to get into it because you're a bloody idiot if you are blaming Elanga for his going out of the FA Cup. You know, football's not for you. There's a guy walks up and misses penalty. Oh, that's why we're out. Never playing for Manchester United again. Send him to Preston. Sell him for free. You know, sell him for a post-it note. It's a dead conversation. Absolutely dead conversation. There's nothing to debate. He missed the penalty. It wasn't a very good penalty, but he missed. So what? Is Jill phones on the bench or back on the desk? Says upbeat sarcastic. He's on the bench. He's on the bench. Look, how's everyone feeling about this game? Zuma's starting for West Ham. That's upsetting a few people from Andy McKay. Okay. Lindelof's not on the bench, I don't think. I'm not aware of Lindelof being on the bench. I'll confirm that for you. Don't think Lindelof is. Oh, he is. We've missed him out as well. So Henderson, Jones, Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka, Lingard, Mata, Matic, Alanga, and Ronaldo. So Lindelof could have started tonight, but Lindelof's really he's unlucky in real life as well. I mean, look, he got burgled, and that was a horrible thing to happen for him and his family, and that's why he lost his place. Then he's been ill. Do you think Harry Maguire, in the absence of Victor Lindelof? I mean, it's a good point. Has Harry Maguire, who got his place back because Lindelof had personal issues, has Harry Maguire played well enough to keep Lindelof out of the team? Answer, no, and no. He hasn't. But this is what bothers me about Manchester United: the favouritism towards people who have big says within that football club. There are footballers at Manchester United who have big influence on certain people in that football club. Directors of footballs, technical directors, board members, and they're backing that team within no time. Victor Lindelof never would have been dropped if he hadn't had that issue with the burglary at his house and illness. Harry Maguire played well against West Ham, average against Middlesbrough. I don't think that justifies it, but I never expected him to be dropped. So, certain players will get dropped in this team, and certain people will be dropped and then back in the team in no time. And we've seen that. There's 2 players starting tonight that realistically shouldn't be starting, but are starting because ultimately the club see them as too valuable to drop. Let's have a look at the poll at the moment. United 65% to win, Burnley 17% and draw 18%. I tell you what, people are very confident of a United win, and I like it. Would you start Lindelof over Maguire? Lindelof is on the bench, says Willie King. I would have started Lindelof if I was Ranić, because I don't think Maguire's justified taking Ranić's space. Would I have? I just think Burnley, it's probably one of the games of the season. I predict Harry Maguire is going to get man of the match. Let's see if I'm right. I think McTominay or Maguire could get man of the match tonight because it's exactly their sort of game. Remember, when we played Burnley at Old Trafford, McTominay was man of the match. And everyone was like, sit down, McMayo haters. He's the best midfielder we've had since Roy Keane. And ever since then, he's been crap again. They're bottom of the league, Burnley. I would expect United players to perform against bottom of the league. They're bottom of the league. They're going to be very direct. They're going to be very physical. I think this is the perfect game for Scott McTominay or Harry Maguire to put in a big performance tonight. And I'd be very surprised if Maguire doesn't play well. You could make a very strong case that picking Maguire in this game is probably one of the few games in the season where he's going to be absolutely essential. Mark, other than Ronaldo, do you see anyone else on the bench coming on and making an actual impact on the game, especially in that midfield, says Julian S? Well, to be fair, I think Jesse Lingard can always make an impact. Obviously, got Ronaldo can make an impact. But apart from that, Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka, Jones, they're all defenders. Matic, another defender. Wan Mata, if they're parking the bus, could be an issue. But I don't think the bench is particularly strong, and we're very reliant on the starting lineup, bar probably Cristiano Ronaldo. But we will see. I'm relaxed. I'm relaxed about the match tonight. I think we'll be all right. I do. Anyway, talking about being all right. Boohoo Man. I'm wearing some of their clothing, which is all right. And you can get yours too, 40% off, plus an additional 10% off when you use the code United Stand at Boohoo Man. Links in the description. fantastic, affordable activewear and clothing for you. Use the code United Stand and get 40% off. What a reduction that is. Big shout out to Boohoo Man. Make sure to check it out. I'm obviously wearing some of their clothing right here, right now. And let's hope I'm not Boohoo Man, if you know what I mean. Let's have a look what people are saying in the chat. Put Rashford on the left. Cavani will have less to none chances, at least on the right. He can't keep shooting. Might get an outlet from Sancho or the midfield, says Digi. I tell you what I want to see. Look, Rashford starting the game, so let's hope he has a good game. I think we'd all agree with that. What I want to see from Rashford tonight is I want to see good link-up play with Dalot. I didn't like the link-up play with Dalot against Middlesbrough at all. I want to see decent link-up play between them. I want to see the ball into the box, and I want to see, some service for Edison Cavani. What I don't want to see from Cavani tonight is what we've seen from Ronaldo quite recently, is dropping into that number 10 position and not, getting into the box. I want a striker in the box. And maybe in fairness, that's something that Ranić has looked at and said, you know what, Cristiano, I'm not very happy about you dropping deep all the time. I want a target man. And maybe that's where he's looking at with Ranić. My main problem with Sancho off the left and not the right is that there's no natural left foot cross. But I do think tactically that's why he's put Marcus Rashford on the right, so that he can't cut in and shoot with his left. You lot can do your score predictions. I'm not going to do one. I don't want to. I'm not being involved in any jinx at all tonight. All I'm going to say is I'm quite relaxed, and I'm looking forward to the game. And realistically, we should be looking at winning it. Thoughts on Wednesday? Okay, Levin's on the show. I can see him there. How you doing, Levin?
Can people see me?
Yeah.
Hi, how's everyone doing? Everyone good? Everyone looking forward to the game? I'm good.
It's good to see you in a better mood than you were on the forum the other night.
Why does everybody keep mentioning? Is it because people are just so used to seeing me just like happy and energetic? Like, is that why? Like, people like genuinely were worried for me.
I turned it on. I didn't watch it live. I watched it later on in the night, and I was like, Levin's just deflated. He's gone, deflated for the first few minutes. But yeah, how you feeling now, mate?
Nights, man. It was one of them nights, Mark. And it was like a long day as well, and I was tired. And you just have them days. It happens. But now I am feeling a lot more energetic. I've had a good day. Watched some TV with my mum. Just a nice chill day. Man United, of course, always have the potential to ruin that, but I am looking forward to this game against Burnley. I think we have a good chance against them without jinxing it, of course. Yeah. But it'll be an interesting game.
Ronaldo dropped and Maguire in the lineup along with Rashi. Abysmal. Never dropped McFred for consistent bad performances. I suspect I know what you're going to say about this, Levin, but let us know what you think about the team. In case you weren't listening, I basically said I would have started Ronaldo. Don't have a massive problem with him being dropped. He didn't play well in the last game. I just would have dropped Rashford for the same reason. Apart from that, I agree. I think we've got a good chance tonight. What's your thoughts on him dropping Ronaldo and the rest of the team that he selected?
Yeah, I think dropping Ronaldo made sense because as much as the Middlesbrough game obviously was just like, a bad game and players have bad games, I think overall throughout, Ralph's tenure so far, there has been, concern about Ronaldo in terms of, when he isn't able to score the goals, when we aren't able to feed him better service and get him scoring, what does the team look like? In terms of what is he able to offer outside of that? You look at other elite top forwards in and around Europe, and not to say Ronaldo isn't one anymore, but when you look at all the other sort of elite top forwards in Europe, when they aren't scoring, they can offer something at the most elite of levels. And Ronaldo right now, at least under Ralph, just hasn't been able to show that. And I think that's where the concern is, right? You look at some other strikers, maybe they have great link-up play. If they ain't scoring, maybe physically they're dominant and they're target men, so you can sort of lob it up to them and they'll head it down. And maybe they're great pressers, someone like a Cavani, man, they work so hard and so defensively you can stay compact. And under Ralph, when Ronaldo hasn't been scoring, there hasn't been anything there. And actually, what I actually found interesting, it's not something I've seen people pick up on, was I think it was the game before Brentford. Ralph made an effort to highlight Ronaldo's link-up play in that game in particular, and he made an effort to sort of highlight how much he liked it. And I think what that's told me is that he obviously wants Ronaldo to do more outside of the game if he's not just scoring. And so I get why he dropped him. Of course, you could argue is Cavani even in that much better form anyway. I don't think Cavani's been great, but I am happy to see Cavani in the team. Of course, we know how much he works hard and whatnot. But no, I don't have a problem with him dropping Ronaldo at all. I think it makes sense. I think it'll be more interesting to see whether he actually uses him at all, whether it is actually just rest, or whether there were more tactical reasons to it.
Yeah. You know what? It's the excitement for me. It's you know, I think if we were to win this game and win it comfortably, you would, you know, as much as I would have picked him, I would also, if we win the game and we play well, I would be saying, well, he doesn't start against Southampton. Then I'm a firm believer in that. I don't think. Then other people might say, well, you know, rotation. He might have already planned that he's going to start Ronaldo against Southampton. But you know, I'm a firm believer that if somebody comes in and does well, I mean, I just don't see how you start Ronaldo and Cavani in the same team at the moment. You know, I think we would leave ourselves a bit open. The rest of the team, though, I mean, look, Burnley, we know how they're going to play. You know, Lindelof is back. He was the centre-back partner for Varane, but you'd expect Maguire as the captain and also good in the air. Going to be very important tonight. And no Fred or Telles, so Shaw comes in. Well, Shaw keeps his place. And McTominay, Pogba and Bruno. What's your thoughts on the midfield and the defence for the game?
Yeah, the midfield will be an interesting one because obviously we got to see Pogba, Bruno and McTominay for the first time under Ralph. And I think the experiment for the most part went well. What was more interesting to me was the fact that, you know, I think Paul Pogba was actually like a really good sort of second phase presence, right? And so for the people who might not know what I mean in terms of just the thirds of the pitch, right? In terms of our third, the middle third and the attacking third, like Paul Pogba was a huge presence in the middle third in terms of like helping move the ball forward and progressing the play. And we're going to need that in terms of trying to play out of Burnley's press. Because I think one thing that people don't realize about Burnley, I think Burnley's sort of like, they become like really like they become memed a lot for like just the way they play. When you actually watch them, especially against like non-top six sides, they have a really good press. Like Sean Dyche has actually done a brilliant job. Like they press really well and they press high up. Obviously
they played quite well against us, didn't they? I know we won that game comfortably, but they played quite well against us a few weeks ago, I thought.
Yeah, and they, you know, they have the ability to do that. I think that the key thing is most of the top six sides at least have enough quality to like play out their press, and so do we in this game if we have Pogba dropping deeper to help with that. So you know, I'm not too worried about, you know, their pressing threat. Of course, in terms of Burnley, that, you know, they're going to play long, they're going to look to win duels, and they have the ability to do that. Like that's probably the only place where you'd say they do have like some advantage on us. Obviously they brought in Weghorst now. Is Cornet playing? Is Cornet starting in this game?
Yeah, he's got Rodriguez playing, so I think Cornet may be playing off the wide position, because I know at the weekend he played him, I think, with Weghorst, but Rodriguez has come in and Lennon's gone to the bench, so I presume Cornet goes to the right, I think. Or maybe Rodriguez will play off the right, I don't know.
Wherever Cornet is, he's a great transitional threat. He's probably their main transitional threat, right? Like he can carry them up the pitch, you know, to quite a degree. So, you know, they have threats, but ultimately, again, you know, when you're looking at everything on paper, we do outmatch them. Like we should be the better team here. Again, earlier phase of the game, when it comes down to just who's winning the duels, like that's always going to be something to watch out for. That will probably set like the momentum of the game. Like if they're winning a bunch of duels, then, you know, I wouldn't say get worried, but I would be concerned because, you know, we need to go out there and be dominant aerially, physically, as well as technically.
Yeah, that possession will be very important. Just a Rangnick quote that's come out, which for anybody who was trying to use the excuse of Ronaldo being 37, which I think is total and utter nonsense. You know, he's one of the fittest players probably in that squad. I don't think he needs a rest. And he doesn't need a rest because Rangnick's dropped him and he's confirmed that. He said today it will require a lot of sprinting, chasing balls, a lot of fight for second balls. This best fits the profile for Cavani, which is why he starts today. And I suppose that fits in, Levin, with what I was sort of hinting at. You know, Cavani's a good player. If you want to start him in this system, you've got to drop Ronaldo. And he's obviously looked at the Burnley game and in his opinion gone, I'd probably get more from Cavani in this type of game than I do Ronaldo.
Yeah, and I think he's spot on there. So I look forward to it. I didn't really have any problem. Like I know obviously there's always going to be some sort of social media reaction when Ronaldo doesn't play, but I personally didn't have a problem with it. Like I could see why he'd make that decision, and I'm glad he made it because, you know, I'm glad he clarified, if anything, because there was people sort of going, nah, it's just like he's resting him, or people sort of finding other excuses. But at least there, you know, Ralph's given the clarity as to why, and I think he's spot on. So.
Hey, you know what? I've got no problem with anybody who says that Ronaldo being dropped is the right decision. I have got a problem with the Ronaldo haters. I just don't get that. I don't get that. He's one of the greatest players there's ever been. He's a Man United legend, and yet we've got fans who constantly get on his back. I just don't understand that sort of football fan, and I'll openly admit that. I'll openly admit I wouldn't have dropped him. I wouldn't. I just wouldn't. I just would never drop Ronaldo. I don't think I would. I just think that sort of player, it's a bit like Messi. I wouldn't drop Messi either. But that's probably a bit of a naive way of thinking about it. But it's like Sir Alex Ferguson said when he was caught on tape, when Ollie did it, you don't drop players like Ronaldo, but you do. And he has. And Ranić's the manager, and I've got to respect that. So, and I understand why he's done it. You know, he is that sort of coach that looks at a game and looks at what he needs in that game and sees that Cavani gives more. It's a circumstantial thing, you know. He feels that Cavani can give him more than Ronaldo, and he may well be right. It makes sense. Why get Ronaldo to bench him? This is setting up for more leaks this week and dressing room unrest, all because Cavani runs around like a madman, says Stuart Walker. And big thank you to United Stand family and moderators and panelists. Keep up the good work. We didn't really speak about the defence, Levin. I predicted that Harry Maguire could have one of his best games of the season tonight. This is right up his street. You know, there's nobody who's really going to hit him from behind with pace. There's going to be a lot of high balls. It's perfectly made for Harry Maguire to have a game. If there's one game of the season where you think this has got man of the match Harry Maguire written all over it, it's probably perfect for him. We need him to step up tonight because they have got that threat. 6'6" Weghorst. Rodriguez can put himself about a bit as well.
Yeah, and I think even with Maguire having a bad season, he has still been our best centre back in terms of like aerial duels and whatnot. So I think this is the kind of game where you'd expect him to be important. Look, people have their like opinions on Maguire, and people say he's awful. People say they like him. People say he shouldn't be anywhere near United. Regardless, like, he's a centre back that Ralph clearly is going to entrust to use, and I like to hope that he'd get back into his better form, because ultimately it doesn't benefit any of us if Maguire is bad. Like, even if you don't like Maguire, even if you think he's the worst centre back in the world, there's no point in sitting there going, "Oh, I hope he's terrible," because that doesn't help us, because he's going to play. Ralph is going to play him. Other managers that come in will probably play him as well. So, we just have to hope he can be better. I think, it will be a tough battle for him, because, Weghorst obviously is massive. Like, he's 6'6", or whatever. But no, I expect Maguire to be solid at the back for us. I hope. I don't really want to be finishing this game, having to talk about how good our centre backs were. If you sort of get what I mean, do you know what I mean? Like, I'd much rather us not be in a position where I'm having to go, "Oh yeah, Varane was saving us all game," because I just want us to have much more control. So.
Yeah, and I think there's a good point to be had there. I mean, look, what's your thoughts on how the game goes? Because I'm very aware that when we win a game, United fans can run away with it. We played Burnley a few weeks ago. McTominay was man of the match, and it's like, oh, there's McMayo, this, that, and the other. And then he doesn't play well in the next game. I think it was Wolves. I think we got beat, was it? But we are playing bottom of the league. There is an expectation that, we've got to get into that mindset as players. We're playing bottom of the league. A lot of this Burnley hype is because of Burnley at Turf Moor's a difficult game. They've got 8 points, haven't they? No, they've got more than that. But they're not having a good season. They're not creating many chances. They're bottom of the league. I think, but there's a big chance that Burnley will go down simply because Newcastle is 3 from 4, and I think Newcastle look like they've got more. These are the sort of games that if you want top 4, we could, if we drew tonight, or if God forbid we lost it, you don't want to be looking at this and going, remember we went to Turf Moor and we didn't win. We've got to go on. We've got to go on, exert our authority on this game very early, like you said.
Yeah, these sort of things do worry me, because I'm pretty sure they haven't actually played like any of the big six at home. I think this might be their first game against a big six team at home. My guys,
they've only played 8 games at home this season, whereas most people have played 11 because they've got a few games in hand, haven't they?
Exactly. So they've not played that many games at home. My guy Ty, he was talking about how like apparently this is like their like 5,000th game in like the top flight or something along those lines. So like it's one of them ones, like with us recently, like the team we're playing always is having some sort of like historically moment against us, and like that always adds some weird buff that just makes it more difficult for us. I hope that doesn't come into play today. But in terms of how this game should go, I expect us to exert a lot of control. I did, see a lot of people sort of saying, we've not really improved. It's like Ollie. It's like Ollie. That's not true, man. If you really know what you're looking for, you'll see that we have improved in certain areas. Our counter press has improved. I expect to see us doing that a lot better against Burnley today. It might not matter as much because they like to hoof it long anyway. Like, they're not going to try play through our press regardless. But, our counter press has gotten a lot better. I want to see our settled press improve. Ball retention in the final third. Look, Sancho was really good in terms of ball retention against Middlesbrough. Can he now do it against Burnley, a tough opposition? There's plenty of things to look out for. There's things that we have definitely improved, and there's still a long way to go. Look, I'm not getting complacent before people try to accuse me of that. But I think people need to really sort of have their eyes peeled, because there is a lot to look out for in terms of how the rest of the season will play out for us.
I'll tell you what, you'd be decent in defence tonight, wouldn't you? 6 foot. What are you, 6'9"?
Yeah, I'm 6'8". I could win an aerial duel against Weghorst. Yeah, and I would fancy myself to at least challenge. I played basketball as well, so I can jump pretty high. Like, I think I'd be all right in this kind of game.
I did say that before you came on, though, that I do. Look, we've just gone out of the cup to Middlesbrough. It doesn't matter how good your players are. If you don't take your chances or you don't take the game to the opposition, you're not going to win the game. And I would imagine Burnley are a better team than Borough. And we put a strong team out, and that was at Old Trafford, and we still couldn't beat them. I think for me, though, and look, you can always get proved wrong, but looking at Burnley this season, one of their big problems is they've actually conceded at home the same amount as Wolves, who are a very good defensive side. And they've only conceded two less than Man City. Now, I know they've played probably 2 or 3 games less than everybody else, but defensively is not their problem. It's scoring goals. And I think United tonight, I just want to see some composure. You've got to see the intensity, but composure. Let's not start panicking if it's 0-0 at half time, because I really do think this game will be there to win for 90 minutes. I don't think Burnley should be scoring anyway, but even if they did, as long as we score 2, I see us winning this game. So just want to see some composure and not panicking, and no heads dropping. That's one of the big things that's going to be so important over these next 5 or 6 games.
Yeah, and I think it's important you mention that, just because that is the one area where we've actually improved probably the most under Ralph, in terms of, like, if you're looking at anywhere we've improved in terms of our aspect of play, it has been defensively under Ralph, right? We've been a lot more solid. With Cavani in the team, we should be a lot more compact. It'll be interesting to see defensively sort of how Bruno and Pogba do. Once Pogba started getting a bit tired in the Borough game, we were sort of a bit weaker in transition. And so hopefully, like, that isn't a thing again today. But yeah, I expect us to be solid defensively today. Look, again, I don't want to jinx it, because ultimately the Borough game is a perfect example of just the nature of football. There is so much variance in football, right? On paper, when you looked at how things set up for us, we were better tactically. Everything worked out better for us. On the pitch, we played better than them for the majority of the game. But the nature of football meant that sometimes you don't get the result that you necessarily deserve, right? And obviously, I hope that doesn't happen today, but I do expect us to be better today. We're better on paper. And as long as the players go out there and work hard and are secure technically, I don't think we should have any problems against Burnley.
Well, the poll, I'm going to end the poll, and the poll for the result today is going to be as follows, whenever it comes up on the screen. So we've had 19,000 votes, 64% going with the United win, 18% going with the Burnley win, and 17% going with a draw. Do you feel that's about right, Levin?
I'm surprised. I thought it would have been more people saying not Burnley win. Sorry, I would have thought it would be more people saying United win. I feel like 68% or 64. Was it 64?
Yeah,
64%. I think that's a bit low, to be fair. But yeah, fair play to people. I guess there are people watching who aren't United fans as well, which probably sways the vote a bit. But yeah, man, I think we should be confident going into this game. We have to be. If we're not confident against bottom of the league, when will we ever be confident?
Well, no, I agree. I think, you don't want to be too arrogant, but realistically, we are playing bottom of the league with some fantastic players. And, we probably should be looking around 80%. I know that sounds arrogant. I think really a Burnley win should be really, really low chance of it happening. Of course, it can happen. The draw might happen, but I think we've got to win. We've got to win this one. Imagine what we could be with a top-class CDM with Bruno and Pogba ahead of them. Would completely change the way we play the game for the better, says Nick97. I think Pogba's a really interesting player, Levin. probably looked a little bit rusty as the game went on against Middlesbrough, which is to be understood. But we've spoken about him a few times. He's going to go in the summer probably, but he's definitely going to want to put himself in that shop window. You know, he'll be more valuable to Real Madrid's and PSG's and anyone else who wants him if he's performing now for United till the end of the season. And, you know, it comes at the perfect time. We've spoke about Sancho having an opportunity as well, and hopefully he can grab that. But, you know, I hope that some of those fans who maybe don't appreciate Pogba don't underestimate what an important part he can have for Manchester United, especially in games like this where you need that different bit of quality.
Yeah, and I expect Pogba to play well. I thought he was, you know, quite impressive when he did play for the majority of the Borough game. If anything, the one person I'm sort of looking at and hoping they can have a good game would be Rashford, because I think, you know, his performances haven't been great. His form's not been great, but, you know, ultimately he is in the team because he is an outlet. And against Burnley, that will be very useful as well, because at times they do play with quite a high line. And so, look, people would say, you know, why isn't Elanga in the team? Elanga can be an outlet for us as well. You know what? You're probably right in that. Maybe I would have went with Elanga. But, you know, I think it's important Rashford has a good game, because otherwise, you know,
why do you think he's not? You know, you're very good at analysing the game. What is it that you've seen from Rashford this season? I mean, look, when he's off the... I personally, again, look, you're playing with a squad. I would have started Elanga for a lot of reasons tonight, but I always would have put Rashford on for the last 20, 25 minutes, because I think when the game is stretched and they're tired, we've seen Rashford score 2 goals in that situation. So, and I want Rashford back to his best. Why do you think he's struggling, isn't he? Especially when he starts games, he just seems to be struggling a little bit.
Yeah, I think for the most part, it's pretty very telling of like Rangnick as a manager, in terms of, you know, he very much will prioritize what in theory is going to make the most sense. And so, you know, you see that with his approach to Ronaldo and Cavani. Like, in theory, Rangnick's right. Like, Cavani is better suited to this game, but we all know the way football is. Cavani might go out there, have a stinker, Ronaldo comes on and he looks brilliant, right?
Yeah.
And same thing if you're looking at the Rashford Elanga thing. In terms of form, yeah, Elanga probably has looked a bit more impressive than Rashford when he's played more recently. But in theory, Rashford is like the superior outlet option, in terms of just like, you know, he's quicker, physically he's probably a bit better as well. And so like that's probably what I would say is going on there. But again, if Rashford's not playing well, I don't doubt that Elanga will come on, right? We've seen him make that substitution before, so I wouldn't be too worried about that.
Yeah, and also I think with Rashford, it's decision making. You know, I quite like. I'd rather see Sancho on the right hand side, because I think he's got a lovely cross on him. But I think Rashford just need. I've been saying it for a few weeks. I think, you know, the chances will come and Rashford can finish. It's when the chance isn't there that I think Rashford gets himself into trouble. Like, he'll try and take on a man when he shouldn't do. He'll hold on to it. He won't see the pass. And I think if he just simplifies his game, which will suit Rangnick's style of football, and then waits for the opportunities, you know, nobody expects Rashford to skip past 3 players and score a goal or score from 30 yards. But I think sometimes he does almost, it's as if he's trying to do that, when actually, you know, just simplify the game, hold your position. And he's done that a couple of times when he's come on off the bench and he scored 2 goals. And, you know, no one's going to criticise him if he's scoring winning goals. Yeah,
I think that actually is part of why you would go with Rashford on the right and Sancho on the left, just because, you know, with Rashford's form, you do want to simplify his game. And if you just sort of strictly have him as like an outlet on the right who's holding the width, you know, his job is a lot more simple on that side. Whereas let's say you were to swap it around and do what most people want, as in, you know, Sancho on the right, Rashford on the left. As a team, we're still like a very left side dominant team. Like, we still like play off the left, like the hand side a lot. And so, you know, you'd probably in current form, you prefer Sancho and Shaw combining on the left than Rashford and Shaw, because, you know, we've seen in games where Rashford's played off the left, you know, he's not able to beat players the way he, you know, has been in the past and whatnot. His combination play hasn't been great. And so maybe once he starts to get into better form, then you put him back on the left and you have him combining with Shaw, whatnot. But right now, Sancho and Shaw, that relationship on the left is probably going to be more important than whatever Rashford's doing on the right-hand side. So that's probably why.
People need to understand the DM will make no difference unless the sim starts to work. Just look at the stars that have come in the last decades. Is Biggie third? Well, I've said this, Levin. There's short-termism and there's long-termism. I'm very concerned about United's long-term future, because I'm very aware of the likelihood of certain players leaving. There's 2 who are starting tonight that are probably going to go, that you will need to replace pretty much quickly, and Pogba and Cavani. But in the short term, there's a big impact on the long term, and that is getting top 4. And we do have Cavani, and we do have Pogba, and we do have options, and we need to focus on these next few games. I'm looking at tonight, Southampton, Brighton, and I'm thinking if we get those 9 points, it starts to make it. You can't go past someone no matter how many games in hand you've got if we keep winning, and that's our job. And Ranić's been very clear about that, hasn't he? It's about those results. He's very aware that there's winnable games, and that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah, and on the topic of midfield, like, we need to buy realistically 3 midfielders in summer, especially if Pogba's leaving. We're going to need to buy about 3 midfielders, and I doubt already that we're going to do that, right? I'd probably bet we're probably going to re-sign Matic, and then maybe sign 2 if we're lucky. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, we got a long summer ahead, but, Ralph is here. I think he has a short-term view, and I think most of his actions so far have shown that he has a short-term approach to his management right now, which is understandable because based off what we know to be true, everything about his role right now is short-term. There hasn't been anything really discussed about what he's going to do after that. So, yeah, Pogba, those players are going to be important to him in the midfield, and what he can do to get the best results right now is going to be, the best possible approach for him.
I'm not going to ask you for a prediction unless you want to give one, but you're confident.
Yeah, I'm not going to give a prediction just because I think I jinxed it last time. And plus, I think if I give a prediction here, I'm going to I think Jamie in the United Center group chat's going to put that on the leaderboard thingy. And I've just not been playing that all season. So now I just don't want to play it. I'm making a conscious attempt not to play it. But I do expect us to win this game. I think we should have more control throughout the game for the most part. It'll be interesting to see, what Burnley can do, but I'm not too worried about them right now.
Cool. Well, we're about to start. Thanks very much for coming on, Levin, and I hope you're not going to have a sad, miserable face. At least there's no extra time. That can't happen.
Yeah. That's and you know what as well? I will add, right? Losing on penalties has always been hard for me. I'm Ghanaian. If people don't know, when I was young, watching Ghana go out in penalties in 2010, I think that scarred me with penalties for the rest of my life. Now I hate penalty shootouts, regardless of whether it's us or any other team. So, that probably did make my night a bit worse there. So, tonight, no pens. I should be good. And I'll see you on the fan forum as well. So enjoy the game, everyone.
Cheers, Levin. Take care, and we'll speak to you in a bit. Right, we are ready to go for the match. This is it. Been waiting for this one. I think some people are building this up a little bit more than it needs to be. Obviously, the result will dictate the outcome. But I'm not actually that worried. I mean, looking at the rain, that is like the 12th man. Some people say the referee can be the 12th man. I do feel that the rain can be the 12th man at Turf Moor. Ideally, you want mild and calm and dry. We've got a little bit of wind and wet, which Burnley will love. So, but you go and play your game. It doesn't matter on the circumstances. It's wet for them. It's wet for us. It's not like they, I don't think Sean Dyche gets them training on their training ground with a big shower over the top. But Charmaine is nervous. I'm feeling quite relaxed. How the hell are West Ham starting Zuma tonight? Absolute disgrace, says Robin Hood. Yeah, it's you hate penalties. Okay, Jazz. Okay. But anyway, we're about to start. Mike Dean's the referee. I mean, we've not spoken about referees or, things like that. I don't want to be talking about that tonight, if I'm honest with you. Will do, mate. I don't know. I don't want to see silly handballs. I don't want to see red cards or anything like that. Play the game. Use the ball. Let them be doing the fouls. Right. Players take the knee. And we're going to go. We're going to start, Mark. We're off, yes. 3 seconds in. Minnie Baker says, are you ready to lose, Mark? I'm very relaxed. Very, very relaxed about this. Looking at the league table there, 38 points for us. Opportunity to go up to 41 points. That would put us 5 points ahead of Arsenal and Spurs before they play games. Yeah, they're going to have games in hand, but points on the table is what it's all about. Harry Maguire winning an early header there, and straight away it leads to United on the attack. Bruno, and he'll go out for a throw in. So that's what we want to do. Early doors, go and win a header like Maguire did there. Get us up the pitch, get on the ball, you know, be the first team that has the possession. I can hear ticking. No worries. It's not a great ball thrown by Luke Shaw, but he'll get another chance. Burnley are crap, basically. And that's not a license for people to start saying anything about me. I mean, Ronaldo won't like being on the bench, by the way. You know, Ronaldo wouldn't like being on the bench for Real Madrid in a pre-season friendly. He certainly won't like being on the bench of an underperforming Manchester United side. So I would have let McTominay have a shot there, Bruno, to be honest, but he didn't. Oh, it's giving the throw into United there. Thought it was good physical play by Rashford. So early start here. Well, a minute and a half in. United are having some early possession here, which I think is always a good thing. We'd expect to have a lot of possession tonight. And how we use it's obviously going to be very important. Sancho getting some early touches on the ball here. Hopefully his confidence can grow. Pogba having a bit of the ball as well. And David De Gea gets an early touch, which I think is important too. So most United players have had a touch of the ball so far, and we've only had a couple of minutes go. So going the way we want. We need to stretch the field and play on the flanks against the tight Burnley, and Bruno should stay high up close to Cavani. Ronaldo will score, says Alvin. Matthew McFadden says Weghorst winner incoming. You're having a laugh, Matthew. I can still hear that ticking, you know. I've never heard it before. Yes, yeah, to forget we are Lewis. I don't know what you're on about. Mark, thank you for brightening up my day. Good or bad, scrappy win will do. Still worried about the midfield. Pogba left and another CDM needed. Well, Pogba is playing quite deep in this game, and I did sort of have, I don't know whether I had concerns about it, but I don't know why he would do that. Bruno will obviously play more on the front foot. An early corner for United here. What corner is this? Is the corner 100 and must be about 128? Is it 129, 142, 300? Tonight could be the night, you know. You wouldn't think that we would score a corner against Burnley, but I just feel that Harry Maguire is going to have a big game tonight. Well, we haven't even put the cross in. Bruno on the edge of the box. Headed away. Maguire wins it. And there's a foul by Cavani. Bit scrappy here. Bit scrappy starts. I'd like to see us just get hold of the ball like we did in the first minute. You know, we don't need to rush it. I've spoken about consistency, calmness. I think we'll be in this game for a long time against Burnley. I don't see them, you know, pulling away from us or anything like that. I think we're going to have a lot of the ball. Let's be calm on the ball and use it wisely. A lot of people going on about Zuma not even getting booed. Big Sancho performance incoming, says Charlie. Well, he's had plenty of the ball in the first few minutes. But yeah, I'm calm at the moment. I mean, Pogba's just won ahead of there as well. Nice ball towards Rodriguez. And again, we're winning a lot of the second balls, which is a very encouraging start for United. Winning those second balls, very important against Burnley. Sean Dyche prides himself on it. Goldbridge, I love it. But we're winning a lot of the balls. You can tell that Ranić will have told them, you've got to be competitive in a game like this. And Burnley certainly struggling to get on the ball at the moment. And even there, Delo crunching in. I think they've won a free kick there, but good start by United. I know it's not pretty and it's not what we want to see, but I think sometimes when you go to Turf Moor, that first 10 minutes, you've got to go and put a tackle in. You've got to go and put your body on the line. And I think United are doing that. It ain't pretty, but Burnley ain't pretty either. You've got to earn the right to play the game. Nice little ball in there, though. Oh, my God, United, for God's sake. There's an offside. I can hear it again. What's going on with this ticking? Ah, right. No. Cleared away by Luke Shaw, but I think there was an offside there. So we don't need to worry too much. Maxwell Cornet, Burnley's top scorer with 6, which actually isn't bad considering Burnley have only scored 5 this year. It was a bit of a crap bit of defending, though. It was offside, but the cross that they put in, it was just there begging to be sort of tapped in by a Burnley player, but they'd all missed it as well. Still people talking about Zuma. Derby are beating Hull 1-0. Well, Weghorst's been for a couple of headers already, and he's just won 1, which he should do at 6'6". Here we go. Cavani, Bruno, wide, move the ball quicker. Sancho's got a bit of space here. United down that left-hand side. So, yeah, Sancho playing down the left-hand side again. Nicely into Bruno. Here we go. Cross, back post. Rashford's not going to attack it, and Burnley will come away with it. But he's done well there, Delo. Rashford shoots. Cavani not very happy. To be honest with you, I'm not happy with that with Rashford. That's not a place to shoot from. He's gone for a shot. Never in a million years is that going to go in. He's got to put the cross in there. But we've won a corner, so we'll take that. Yeah, but you know what? If I do it, that can be voice and wrecked for the rest of the game. So it's got to come out at the right time. It's another short corner by United. Bruno in the hole, crosses it back. And Burnley are going to eat these headers up all day, I'm afraid. And 8 minutes gone. Yeah, I agree with Infernator there. It's one for the cameras, that from Rashford. Everyone goes, oh, it's nearly a goal, but it's only going in if you're playing FIFA on a front post glitch. Pope's just put it out for a corner because he can't catch it because it's hit it hard, but it's never going in. The cross needs to go in from that situation. And I guarantee you, Ranić will say to him tomorrow, in that situation, Marcus, you should be putting the cross in. But that's something Rashford needs to work on. Magnus says he was right to shoot. Well, I'm not going to get into it, Magnus, because there'll be a lot of people who disagree with you there. But the angle he shot from was ridiculous when he had an angle to put a cross in the box where there's 2 people in the box. Niam says, can we get a bloody Burnley? And Dawell says, if anyone's looking for a clear sign from Ralph that wants to CDM, just look at quickly, puts Pogba after injury back into the team with a 4-3-3, says Dawell. It's been a steady start by United, though. We're definitely on top without creating loads of chances. And that's a good sign when you're away from home that, you're having a lot of the ball and everyone's had a touch of the ball. Sometimes you can go away from home and, you have a torrid first 15 minutes, the home crowd get up. That's not happened under Burnley. And I think that if we can just keep that going, then it puts us with a strong platform. Got to score first tonight. Got to score first. Yeah, I did say against Middlesbrough Draughty. They've got to game manage it much better. And it's only then that I'll be starting to become more confident about what United can achieve. And you're right, James. It's Burnley, for God's sake. They're bottom of the league. We should be comfortably getting 3 points. I think that this is probably going to be the season that Burnley finally do go down. And in a way, that probably makes me sad, because there's been so many years when I would love Burnley to gone down, and I actually don't think I do want them to go down anymore. But I think they're going to struggle to stay up. They just don't score enough goals. I think we're going to sell a few more players and pay 120 million for Rice in the summer. Why didn't we get Zakaria? Says Stratos. Thanks for all the super chats, by the way. Please do subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. We're on the road to 270,000. So thanks everyone for tuning in. United have got a free kick here. Chance to whip a cross in. How many times does Rashford need to be reminded to get your head up and look to benefit the team? It's like he doesn't want to listen, says Avidal. Yeah, but you know what? I will defend Rashford there and say that, you know, people act like every footballer in history figures out goal! Varane! There we go. Manchester United. Bruno with another assist. Raphael Varane heads it home. The perfect start for United. Sit down, Sean Dyche and Weghorst, because Raphael Varane has scored a goal, and I told you that is what Manchester United can do. I only said it a couple of weeks ago about Varane. He's got that in his locker, and United have got the goal. Now, the referee is not going to do anything here, surely. Let's have a quick look. I don't know. Varane's not offside. That's a goal. Varane's well onside. It's a lovely header as well. Yeah, there's nothing going on there. I don't know what. Nah, it's a goal. Forget that. Definitely a goal. Well, it's definitely a goal, and it definitely will be a goal. There's nothing from VAR there, and it's interesting, isn't it, that we've scored a goal very similar to the sort of goal that Burnley would like to score. And look, you know, we've not been dominant in the first few minutes, but we've been physical, and I think it's a strong indication of what Rangnick wanted from this game, a bit of physicality. Checking goal, possible foul, where? It'd be very harsh. No. I mean, Harry Maguire makes no intent to go for the ball and does shove into the Burnley player. He's going to have a look. He's going to VAR, for fuck's sake. I'd be fuming about that. I'd be absolutely fuming about that. If I was Varane, I'd be fuming. That's not a foul. But I don't know what Harry Maguire's doing. This, for me, is where VAR goes too far, because he does walk into the player, but is that player ever going to stop Varane? Yeah, I think he's going to rule it out. What? What? He's not giving it. He was scoring the goal anyway. You know, it's frustrating, that is. The second time in 2 games we've bloody celebrated something that we think is going to happen, and it's not. Look, Maguire definitely stands. You can see that Maguire walks into the player. My issue is that Rodriguez is never stopping Varane. Like, Rodriguez is not close enough to stop Varane. So the goal should stand for me. But Maguire, it's almost like that's off the training ground, what Maguire does. Yeah, I think that's off the training ground. As soon as I saw it, I thought it was off the training ground. I think that was part of the plan, was to take him out. But It's a bit unlucky from United that. Well, it's very unlucky from United that. Very, very, very unlucky. Because I don't think that. I just genuinely do not think Rodriguez is stopping Varane anyway. I don't know why Maguire did it. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, well, it's like Droughty said there. If you're going to be watching the Super Bowl on Sunday night, that would be a foul in American football. This is football. You know, you can't block somebody else who might. Yeah, it's perfect in NFL. If you block someone like that who might stop somebody else, they'll go back and call it. But I do think it's a foul, but I don't think it's enough to take a goal away. And I'm very surprised that they looked at it and did it. But, you know, there's got to be a level of common sense. You know, was it going to stop the goal? No, it wasn't. It's annoying as well because we've scored a goal against Burnley that they would be looking to score against us. And I think we've, you know, I think Ranić's been very clever in this game. He's basically playing them like they want to play us. You know, we are being very, very physical. We're winning the 50-50s. We're winning the second ball, you know. So what, can you not be offside anymore? I don't understand. You're allowed to be offside at times, says Bain. Well, somebody said he's given it for offside. He's not interested. He's not. That's never a foul. We're being screwed again. Even Ranić is fuming, says Mario. I don't. If it's offside, that's even worse. I mean, look, Maguire shouldn't be in that position, but I think it's also a little bit harsh. It's because Harry came from an offside position, says Kashina. It was offside, says Clyde. Yeah, well, Mike Dean did call, did put his arm up for an offside. Harry was offside. That's why maybe interfered with while being offside, I suppose, as Jameson Gray. He just doesn't need to be in that position. He's, you know, ultimately here's Rashford with a bit of space. Anyway, look, we just need to go again and score again. Oh, here's a goal. Yes, that was a good goal. Rashford to Shaw to Pogba. We're in front now, and that was a lovely team goal. They're all hugging each other. Luke Shaw with the assist. That was better. That deserves a group hug. And Paul Pogba, I said he was going to have a big impact, and he has had a big impact. Shot window maybe, but Pogba makes it 1-0. Get in. Manchester United deservedly in front here. And we really should be 2-0 up, but we'll take one. Lovely ball by Bruno out to Rashford. It's a very good team goal, this. Lovely ball out wide by Bruno. Luke Shaw with the overlap. Rashford on the left. Cuts it back perfectly. Just a lovely team goal. Lovely team goal. Everything right. Rashford, simple pass. That's what we want to see from Rashford. That's the sort of thing that's going to make me say Rashford should be starting games. Not shooting from silly angles. The simple pass. We've spoken about this about Rashford before. Simplify your game, mate. Simplify your game. And that's exactly what he did there. You know, Rashford and Luke Shaw used to have a really good combination. Love it. Lovely start. Don't worry about it, Jameson. He says Harry was offside. Yeah, cracking start for Manchester United here. Deservedly 1-0 up. We've been the better side. Easy finish for Paul Pogba, and he took it very well as well. But lovely play by Luke Shaw. Lovely play by Rashford. Lovely ball out by Bruno. And United deservedly 1-0 up. And a good team goal as well. Lots of positives from that. Burnley crowd, quiet. Sean Dyche, quiet. The Harry Potter striker, quiet. For a second there, I thought he was cutting in, but look at that. He passes, we score. Get in, says Daniel Hall. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Good, lovely team goal. And it's, you know, United have just been very, very clean in possession. Focused, concentrated. I mean, Sancho's back on the left-hand side here. Looking confident, lays it back. Bruno, good shot. I tell you what. We could put this game to bed here. Shouldn't count Pogba foul. Pope, he should. This is bad. He shot the ball at him. Yeah. Well, I don't really understand why the first goal was chalked off, but at least we've gone and not let it bother us too much. Nice cross into the back. Rashford. Goal! 2-0! It's over! It's over! United have got the 3 points here in the first 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Burnley are shite, and now I can relax. Ben Mee with the goal, Rashford with the cross. They're absolute shit. They're absolute shit. Oh. No, what's Cavani shouting at? No, it's not a goal. It's not a goal again. Bloody hell. What's going on here? It should be 3-0 up, mate. There's no offside. No, it's the foul. I think Pogba's fouled him. It's not offside. There's no offside. This is why I hate VAR. Could be 3-0 up, just one at the moment. It could only have been a foul by Pogba because there's definitely no offside there. The only thing I really look for is offside. You know, I'm not looking for anything else. There's no offside on the first cross. It's for that. Nah. Yeah, foul by Pogba, to be fair. But, again, I think it's soft. Just keep our heads down and go again. That's all we've got to do here. Burnley have done absolutely nothing. And United being very physical, which I like. And he's given a goal kick. No, he's given a corner. Corner to Burnley. Right. Got to be focused on these. Comes in. Punched away by De Gea. He was practicing that before the game. And cleared away. That's good. Not looking to break, but wow, we've only had 23 minutes. There's a lot gone on in this first 23 minutes, and it would be wrong to say that United could be winning 3-0. Paul Pogba's down here. I think he's all right. Look how fluid and free we play with Ronaldo. It's no coincidence. Oh, Rash, shut up. Not interested in that bullshit. We've played 23 minutes against the bottom team in the league, and you are going on about how we're a better team without Pogba, Ronaldo. Some people just want to fit their agenda like a square peg in a round hole. I'll tell you what, when we've won our next 5 without Ronaldo, I'll have that conversation. Just enjoy the result without agenda. It's always got to be player FC with some fans, hasn't it? We're better off with him. We're better off without. We're better off with him. Look, I said Rashford shouldn't have started this game. He's had a big part in the goal. That makes me happy. Like, I just want United to win. Not interested in individual player agendas that some people seem to be obsessed with. Modern day nonsense. Everton are beating Newcastle 1-0. It's not Donny van der Beek because he's Donny van der Bench again. Rashford. Goal kick. Corner. Goal kick. I tell you why Rangnick picks Rashford a lot. He loves his pace. He loves his pace, and it's his pace over the top there. It's always the out ball. He's mentioned it before. He loves the pace of Rashford. But yeah, going back to my point before, this is why we've got to win this game today. We're playing bottom of the league. You've got to be taking 3 points against bottom of the league. Mark absolutely hates Rashford. Oh, jog on. Can we get that twat blocked in the chat if we've got any mods? Because he clearly doesn't watch the channel. For like 5 years, I've said one of my favourite players at United is Marcus Rashford, and Mark hates Rashford. Mark doesn't hate anybody because I don't live with hates, and Rashford's been one of my favourite players at United since he burst on the scene. So, jog on. Why do we have to just block him? Get rid of him. We're beating Burnley 1-0. One of my most enjoyable times in football. And people are trying to drag the mood down. Eddie says the kit is fire. Okay. Bloody hell, he was playing well and fluid first half against Borough, and Ronaldo was playing... this is Robbo. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, we did play well in the first half against Borough, and Ronaldo was playing. You're right. Don't let this game drift now, United. It should be over. 2-0 against Burnley is game over. Like, 2-0 against Burnley. They won't score 2 goals in 3 games, let alone half a game. So let's get that second goal and then we can relax into this game a little bit. And Burnley have been really poor. Cornet. Watch that back post cross. Watch that back cross. God, I was getting worried about Weghorst there. Strong by Pogba. And he wins the free kick. That's a free kick on Pogba. Come on, ref. Start doing your job a bit. It's funny what we've got to get. What's a foul against us, but it's not a foul for them. Everton are 2-0 up, apparently. Pogba looking better in the midfield, and Cavani energy is helping a lot, says the Real Dunks. I think the whole team has worked really hard today. It's probably something that United have struggled with a bit as a team. Working hard as a team for the second ball. It's always been a great leveler for the weaker teams, is to be, when you're up against the better player, do they want it as much as you? And that's basically what Burnley have made a Premier League career out of, wanting it more than the opposition. But Ranić was obviously wise to that today, that to beat Burnley, you've got to want it more than they have. And I think United tonight have wanted it more. We ever play Red Redemption 2 on the Twitch again because it was really fun. Thursday night, Ace the game here. Thursday night. Ref is a disgrace, says Marcus. He will give us nothing. That was a foul on Rashford in the box. Same thing given against Pogba, says Marcus. Mike Dean's been awful giving decisions against us since we battered his beloved Tranmere, says Joshua Bellwater. Well, he's certainly given a couple of fouls against us that he then hasn't given when Burnley have done it to us. But I'm impressed with United in the first half an hour, and I think the way the game's going, that second goal is going to come. Lele says, is this how far United's standards have dropped? Happy to win against Burnley? Well, it's not our fault we're playing Burnley, mate. What do you want us to do? Just sit here miserable because we're beating Burnley? We need 3 points here. Everyone cares so much about this one saying, I told you so. We're all United fans. We all then want them to win. Stop putting others down and enjoy the game today, says Uncle Drew. And is it just me, or are we going to back to Ollie ball by passing the midfield? Pogba and McTominay defending well, but for a long ball effective at the moment, says Andrew O'Brien. Look, I think Ranić will probably talk about this game afterwards and say something very similar, that we're almost beating Burnley at their own game. Ed B says the referee is a banker. Is Sancho. Rashford's in acres here. Oh, I wanted that in front of him, Bruno, really. I wanted that in front of him. That's Pogba with a bit of space. Come back to Shaw. Whip it, Shaw. That was on. The cross was on. Sancho. Good play on the edge of the box. Bruno thinks about the shot. I'll tell you what, I like the fact that McTominay's pushing up towards the edge of the box there. That's, for the CDM, that's good. Goal kick. People need to stop going on about the ref being crap. It's the rules which are crap, says Joe. Thanks for all the super chats tonight. Please subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Jay says the ref is calling basketball fouls. Well, considering there's been half an hour, so far so good. We're 1,000 subscribers away from 270,000, by the way. So please subscribe, bottom right hand corner, get involved in the channel. We're live every morning at 10 a.m, every night at 8 o'clock. And I don't care who we're playing or who is playing. I'm really happy to see fluid football played by United. Finally, the team looks like it's clicking together, says Vebath. Ralph will want to use Rashford like he used Werner at Leipzig, says Kyle. Yeah, he's hinted at that a few times. He loves the pace of Rashford. It's probably why he picks him all the time. This is the longest I've seen Rashford play a game without being offside. Progress, says Nick97. And Chris, thank you very much for subscribing. It'd be interesting how comfortable Rashford feels, because I felt that there was a time under Ollie about a year ago where Rashford went on the right and everyone was like, that's got to be his best position. And I remember that didn't Lindelof hit a ball over the top to Rashford? It might have been, I don't know whether it was a European game. And he scored a goal. McTominay shoots wide. And everyone was like, that's the best position for Rashford. But then there was sort of mumblings that Rashford didn't like playing on the right. Can I have a virtual hug, says Irish Penguin. He's had a bad month. Everyone give him a virtual hug. I'm old-fashioned. I like a player who plays right foot, right wing. But be interesting how Rashford adjusts to it. This could be 2-0. Luke Shaw. Cavani, what a save by Pope. Oh, it should have been 2-0. Luke Shaw put the cross in. It deflected to the back post. Cavani just needed it to come down a little bit quicker. It was basically a tap in with his head. And I think it's a worldie save by Pope. I'll have to see it again. It looked like it was just a tap in for Cavani with his head, but it wouldn't come down quick enough. And Pope just threw himself at it. Let's have a look at this again. Lovely link-up play by Sancho to Luke Shaw. Cross in. Could have been offside anyway. Keeper does well. It just wouldn't come down to Cavani quick enough. And Pope gets himself across. Could have been 2-0. RCB, thanks for subscribing. When do we ever create chances or score from good midfield player? It's such a struggle for us to win a game. Need a footballer in the midfield, says Nicholas. Arsenal fans who compare White to Varane are deluded. Varane has been a rock since coming back. World class. He keeps the back line. Who compares Ben White to Varane? By all means, compare Ben White to Harry Maguire. But if you are comparing him to Varane, bloody hell, that's like comparing. Oh, it's like, I don't even want it. It's like comparing Pepe to Messi. Sancho, that's wild. Goal kick. Mark, have you noticed we have improved on the mistakes of past performances every game? No more stupid long shots from the past 2 games, says Rabbit. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Please subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. We've just got to manage this game now. We've got the 3 points. Get the second goal and confirm the 3 points. Keep it going. Keep the intensity going. I've never seen such a one-sided game in the Premier League for a long time. You know, they've done absolutely nothing so far. Plenty of time to go, but we've got to keep that going. Got to keep this intensity going. Mark, what is Dyche saying about the game so far? I need a little Dyche bridge right now, says Dig. I don't want to do it because it will ruin my throat. Damn it, Goldbridge, I may not have wood anymore and it breaks my heart, but do not count me out. I've got Pope and now Wout Weghorst, says Sean Dyche. Well, you know, at the moment, I don't really know what's going on. I just don't know. Tarkovsky's playing shit. That Weghorst, I'd rather have Peter Crouch up front. He needs some Viagra. We've done nothing. See, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it. People ask me to do it all the time, and I can't do it. And I've got a bit of a sore throat. It's refreshing to see Rangnick now walking the talk. We've started to see a clear-cut impact. His coaching. Brijesh, I've got to say, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to do it. We're playing bottom of the league, Burnley. I'm not having Rangnick's turned it around. He's walking the walk. We're playing fucking Burnley. Just chill out. You know, they're bottom of the league. It's as simple as that. Like, we're doing well, but let's not. The problem we have in our fan base is that somebody tonight will be man of the match, and suddenly we don't need to buy a midfielder. or we don't need to buy a striker. And what is United's biggest problem? Consistency. The proof in the pudding for United will be how many points we've got after Burnley, Southampton, Brighton, Leeds, and Watford. If we've got 15 points from those 5 games, I will openly sit here with you, Brijesh, and say, this is the improvement we're seeing under Rangnick. But look, we've got to just get the results. But we are playing Burnley, who are bottom of the league. Like, let's just take it step by step, little by little. I mean, there you go. You couldn't have a more contrasting 2 comments there. Millennium Wisdom says Pogba's shit. And then Nico says Pogba's been brilliant. Lovely interplay between Shaw and Sancho in this game. They're like a little double axe, says Nick P. Well, the goal came from the interaction between Shaw and Rashford. Burnley are bottom of the league, but Ollie would struggle after being backed 400 million, says Cardo. Go on, Delo. Go on, Delo. Oh, I tell you what, lovely play by Delo there and Bruno. Look how much Bruno in the midfield is driving what happens ahead, says Kane. I think Bruno's had a good game. Pogba's had a good game. Did you know that Sean Dyche's middle name is Mark? That's why you're jinxed, says David Taylor. And if we had someone like Koundé for Maguire and like a Casemiro in the holding, we would be fighting for the league, in my opinion, says Ian Vasquez. Again, I think you're just jumping way too ahead, Ian. You know, we're beating bottom of the league Burnley, and we're talking about 2 players make us title contenders. You know, short term, I think we might be all right. Long term, you know, we're going to lose 2 of these players, not add 2 players. We're going to lose Pogba and Cavani, so we're going to have to replace them before you add your centre back and your CDM. Burnley are going to struggle though, aren't they? I think their next game is Liverpool. I really do fear that Burnley will go down this year. I just can't see where they're going to get the points from. We looked disconnected last game too. We just couldn't finish. Just remember the caliber of teams we've played. We're actually winning the midfield, says Richie Carey. Everton are not 2-0 up, by the way. It's 1-1 between Newcastle and Everton. I thought it was 2-0. I wasn't keeping an eye. Burnley put a cross in, well in by McTominay. There's a lot of space for you. You know what? I don't think Burnley's formation is that clever against United. I often wonder why Burnley don't concede many goals when they're playing a 4-4-2. Because there's a lot of space for United to move the ball around. Lascelles. So 2 own goals in the Everton game. I know Lascelles and then Holgate. Yeah, 1 minute apart. So 1-1 at half time. Keep your eye on that. You might see Donny coming on in the second half. Why do you think Ollie didn't rate Delo, says Ruben? Well, I don't, you know, why didn't you rate Ollie, everybody? I mean, his judgment on players is Rashford. Shoots again. Again, he should have crossed it. Fucking hell. Oh, I'll tell you what. There was a pass to Delo, there was a cross to Cavani, and he shoots again at the front post. He can't help himself. He's a striker on the wing, isn't he, really? Sancho was unlucky, though. Sadly, Donny's next move might be on DFS selling sofas. World class at sitting on his arse, says Garth. I don't think I blame Rashford that much on that one, to be fair. But cross comes in. They had men in the box there. Got away with that a little bit. Not a great cross by Cornet, and United come away with it. Now the ball over the top. Rashford. Pope's going to get that. We're looking for that ball. That's the value of Rashford. That is the value of Rashford. I need to write this down. It's the ball over the top. That pace on the break that you've got people like Pogba and Bruno that can just ping a quarterback pass to. Of course, remember, if we can get the result here, which is looking very good at the moment, next 2 games at home, Brighton, Southampton. You know, Arsenal and Spurs will be very worried about us just accumulating points. We take Fred out and it shows we don't look light in the middle of the park, and prove you can play McFred together and becoming a beast right back. Hold on a minute. Burnley with a chance to put a cross in. Ooh, well done, Luke Shaw. Well done, Luke Shaw. Defending well, United. Now Sancho with some space to run into. He'll be loving the game today, Sancho, because there's so much space. Nice. There we go. Here we go. Carry it, Bruno. I think he's gone to Rashford a bit early there. Look for the overlap, Rashford. Shoots again. Cavani gets a corner, but again, I think Rashford shouldn't be shooting. I think it's just in his DNA. When he's in the box, he wants to shoot again. You know, they're showing that as a close chance, but it's never going to go in. Can we bring back Howard Webb, says Vinbral. Well, it's a corner for United anyway. We need to score a corner. I want you all to go mad when we score this corner. Apparently, the last time we scored a corner, and it can't be right. Somebody said the last time United scored a corner, Agallo was still a United player. Well, we're not whipping corners in anymore. We've gone short. So this won't be counted as a goal from a corner because it's not. McTominay hit it. Yeah, he's right. He's right to hit it, but they've broken away. They got no pace on the break, though. Terrible. Terrible by Burnley. And Bruno does his job as well. It's nice to see Sancho take on some defenders. I wonder if Ronaldo being left out actually gives Sancho so much freedom to do his thing, says DG. I don't know how that makes him have more freedom. Wan-Bissaka and Maguire will be more difficult to sell than Phil Jones. Ollie has blood on his hands, says Andre. Who will be the next number 9, given Greenwood is star? Okay, Ben, thank you. And Scott seems to be positioning himself better this game, but with and without the ball, is he learning, says Sean Finity. And Rashford doesn't know what dropping back is, says Rams. Davide will keep that in. Mercenary Gaming says Burnley's keeper's been man of the match. 2 minutes to go to half time here. I think the only shame will be if it stays like this is that we're not 2-0 up. No, I think, you know, just to answer the question, I think McTominay's looked quite tidy. But then again, look at him there. He's in that hiding position again, isn't he? Where's the pass from the holding midfielder to drop in and take it from the back four? He's hiding. He's just running side to side. He needs to drop. There you go. That's it. See, that's better. But, you know, Burnley don't really pressure the 6. That's not really what they do. So... But he's been all right. He's been all right. I don't think there's been a bad performance from any United player. And I think there's been some good performances. I think Luke Shaw's had a good half. Bruno, Pogba, Sancho. You know, Cavani's been industrious. But I think they would be the standout players for me. Pogba, Bruno, Luke Shaw, Sancho. They've had a good half. In my opinion. Going to finish 2-0 win tonight for United. Also, what do you think about what Zuma did, says John Morris? Well, I think it's disgusting, but it's, you know, I'm not a West Ham fan, so it's not, you know, he shouldn't be playing, but I'd be interested to know what West Ham fans think about that. Sancho keeps improving. It's as I tweeted out today, the modern football fan is getting a lot, the modern footballer is getting a lot of stick, but in my experience, footballers have been quite thick and up their own arse for years. It's just social media magnifies it because we get to see more of them. Just idiots, overprivileged idiots who think things like that are acceptable. Two minutes added on. I don't think Burnley have had a shot. I will correct myself if I'm wrong, but I don't think Burnley have had a shot on goal. No, we've had 12. They've had none. We've had 60% possession. They've had 40. They've not even had. They've had no shots, and they've definitely not had a shot on target. So you know, if it carries on like this in the second half, we've already won the game. It's been a dominant performance. If United win, would you bring Ronaldo in for the next game? Says Maldini. I actually wouldn't. You know what? I don't think I would, because surely I don't really believe in changing a winning team unless the circumstances make sense to do that. And what I mean by that is somebody's had a dreadful game or whatever, or it was a lucky win, then maybe you make changes. But United players must have forgotten how to play 45 out in the box to take difficult shots instead of a simple pass out, says Henrique. Sancho keeps improving, says Ricky D. Here's Rashford. Another corner for United. No, he's given a goal kick. Okay, now. Who's the most improved player under Ranić's IQ? I see. These are the sort of conversations I don't want to have, because I just think they're fanciful. You know, we're winning a game now, so everyone's on about the massive improvement under Ranić. I see steady improvement under Ranić, but we are playing bottom of the league. I didn't want to do a prediction, but because I didn't want to be accused of jinxing it. But my feeling, I've always been relaxed about this game today. I've had people tagging me into Weghorst this and Deitch that, and I'm like, I've never felt nervous about this game tonight at all. We're only halfway there. To me, we should be 2 or 3-0 up, and the game would be over at that point. Burnley have had no shots on goal. We're halfway there. We're Bon Jovi. Let's do it. Sancho looking very direct and squaring up his man, says Ben Nicholson. Yeah, I agree. And I think, look, Burnley suitors, you know, however Ranić wants to play, however United want to play, Burnley suitors. The 4-4-2, we've been able to exploit it. They don't pressure the number 6, which gives McTominay more space. And, you know, he's a decent player when he's got space. They're not able to get up the pitch at all. We are forcing them back because of Rashford's pace on the break and the ability of Bruno and Pogba, who've had loads of space. What I'm seeing from United is loads of space to just get on the ball, get it to Sancho, get it to Rashford, get it to Bruno, get it to Pogba. Cavani's occupying the centre-backs, and United are benefiting from that. And we're sort of, their midfield two's having a lot of work to do. Second half, look, never say never. Football's a funny old game, but just go out there and get the game won. You know, get the second goal and it's over. Cavani will be off on holiday for the start of for the next month, so it'll be Ronaldo next game. Not sure why we begged him to stay, says Mark Dobby. Rashford football IQ is just terrible, says Cardo, and I still think we're miles off. Liverpool and Man City would win this game comfortably in second gear. We're playing at 100%, says AA. Look, you know what? For me, take the positives. We're 1-0 up. Could have been 2 or 3-0 up. The Varane goal should have been a goal. Maguire, for some reason, should never be offside anyway. Should be trying to win that header. I don't know whether it's off the training ground and it backfired, but we 1-0 up. The goal was really good. Bruno got the ball out wide. Rashford, for the first time in a long time, played the simple pass to Shaw, who cuts it back, and Paul Pogba makes it 1-0. We've had a lot of the ball. I think we could move it better. I think Rashford a few times has shot from silly angles when he could have put a cross in. But all those things could be corrected. I mean, for me, if I'm Ranić, I go up to Marcus Rashford and say, Marcus, you've had a big part to play in the goal that put us in front because you did the simple thing. Second half, I want you to do the simple thing and you'll get more involvements in goals. And that's what I want to see. I don't want to see you shooting from silly angles again. I want to get this game won. We've got a big game on Saturday. Let's get this game won. So, yeah, that's what, you know, United just need to game manage this. The fact that Burnley have had no shots on goal in 45 minutes at home at Turf Moor in the rain just shows you what a dominant performance it's been from Manchester United. And for me, the success has not been the good performances from Bruno and Pogba and Sancho and Shaw. The success has been the things that people won't notice, which Ranić often speaks about. And he spoke about it in the home game. Burnley will win this game if they win the majority of second balls, if they win the physical battle. And they haven't. you know, we've probably given more free kicks away than they have. We've been physical. We've won the physical battle. We've won second balls. And that's why we've been the dominant team, and they've not been able to have a shot on goal. I mean, David De Gea hasn't had anything to do. Percentage chance we can sneak into the final of the Champions League, says Chris. Very slim. Very slim. I mean, look, you've got to have a dream. You've got to have a dream. But I would say that the chances of us slipping into the Champions League, you know what? This is what I mean, though. If we win this game, I guarantee on Twitter afterwards, people will be going, we don't need a midfielder. McTominay's the man. We don't need a centre-back. Maguire and Varane are brilliant. You know, Ronaldo should never play again. Cavani's the future. And, you know, let's give Pogba 400 grand a week. But some fans will go, we've just played bottom of the league Burnley, who aren't that good. So, look, I think we've just got to take it for what it is. What did you want out of the game tonight? 3 points. 3 points and move on to Southampton. That's what I want. We should, you know, it would be a massive disappointment not to win here when you're playing bottom of the league and you're in a race for the title or top four. You've got to expect to come here and win. The thing I like is that there's, you know, you can very clearly see that Rangnick is getting a tune out of these players, that they're working hard against the hard-working Burnley side, and that there's no bad performance on the pitch. You know, there's no one wasteful of the ball. There's no one not picking their man up. You know, even Delot, when he won that 50-50 against Cornet and we nearly worked another goal, everyone's working really hard. Keep Sancho at the left with Shaw. Absolute superb duo, in my opinion. Rashford is playing okay in the right. Definitely could be swapped with others, says Lab. My only issue with Rashford is I think Delot's been quite quiet again. And I don't think Delot's having a bad game. But, you know, Luke Shaw overlapping, we've noticed it about 3 or 4 times. Not noticed it from Delot because I don't think, you know, it's weird because the goal comes from an overlap from Rashford, but there doesn't seem to be much chemistry between Rashford and Delot. And I'd like to see that. Now, maybe that's because Delot's up against Cornet and we've got to be very careful about that. Maybe that's a tactical thing, but I'd like to see the development of Delot doing what Luke Shaw does because Delot has got a very good ball delivery as well. Keep Sancho at the left, says Jab. Okay. Under Ollie, I even said Wally myself. Under Ollie, we wouldn't have tried controlling away game versus Burnley, says Akash. While Tellez has been an able deputy, I don't see how he can ever start when Shaw is in this, Nick. Luke's honestly brilliant, says Viraj. Well, look, I'm not going to get into that argument because ultimately it would be similar to other people trying to make it about player agendas instead of a good United performance. But I have consistently said that I think Luke Shaw's better than Tellez, and I think tonight he's shown the attributes that I want him to show. I love that overlap that Luke Shaw does. I think it's, you know, there's not many left backs who do it like him. I think Tellez and people like Robertson have got lovely ball delivery, but Luke Shaw's energy to get back and down, back and forth is fantastic. And he did really well actually on a cross from Burnley. Once Fred is back, we're looking good for Champions League this title this year, says Connor. Fred will be back soon. He will be. Look, nah, I'm all right. I think so a few people talking about the referee. Look, the referee thing is very similar to the Middlesbrough game. You know, that was a handball, but we should have won the game anyway. And, you know, the referee's been disappointing, but Burnley have had no shots on goal. Let's not get into the argument about referees. We don't need, if it's 0-0, let's have an argument about it because, you know, we've been hard done by a couple of times. But, you know, on a different day, and I'm sure Rangnick will say the same, we could have been 3-0 up in this game at half-time. There's no way Burnley are coming back at 3-0. So, you know, we should be very happy with what we've done. And if anything, it's, you know, 1-0 is a bit of a misservice to us. So get the second goal, get the game won. Will he bring Ronaldo on? I'm convinced he'll bring Ronaldo on. Of course he will. He's the only goal we got. But I do agree with Elvis that the game is not over yet. You know, how many times have United been crap at home at Old Trafford and then second half they come out and they're a different team? Burnley have got Liverpool next. They ain't going to beat Liverpool. You know, that's nailed on. Liverpool will beat Burnley. So they're 1-0 down to Man United. If I was Sean Dyche, I'd be saying, look, lads, I've got no wood. I've got no Viagra. But I have got Cornet and I have got Weghorst. And you know what? We can't do any worse than that shit. And I think that they may as well have a go, Burnley, because this game is lost. They've had no shots. They've got to try and mix it up a little bit. So, you know, it's 1-0. We've got to go and play the second half again. And I'm sure that's what Ralph Rangnick will be saying. He'll be saying, you've done well, but you've got to go and do it again. Because if you let your levels drop at all, Burnley will get back into this. Daniel C says, Rashford's wrecking my head. He keeps shooting when he should pass and forces other players to be selfish. I think with Rashford, you know what? I was trying to say this, and Varane scored, actually. It just reminded me, Daniel. I'll come back to that. Do you think Lingard will get any game time with United losing its usual attacking mid-subs? You know what, Alex? I think Lingard would probably do quite well in this game because there's a lot of space. And Lingard's good at turning. I wouldn't be surprised if Lingard came on and got a goal, actually. It's a good call. Delo made very good inverted inside runs. If only Rashford passed to him instead, says Mister. Last couple of games, they're more intensity intent. Players know what they're doing and there's a plan. Rangnick's influence is apparent, says Andreas. My only worry about this, and I said it last night, and it's not for now. It's not for now. The amount of games we've got to play in February and how intense we're playing, we will pick up some injuries. Deli Ali on, Donny is still on the bench, says Sankadeep. And my girlfriend said Rashford is a tool. I think that's a disservice to tools. I don't really understand the Marcus Rashford issue because I was trying to say this before the Varane goal. The issue that you've got with Rashford is that Marcus Rashford, I think he's 24 this year, is he? Let's have a look. Rashford is 24 already. He's 25 this year. Fucking hell. I always think of Rashford as like 22, 23. So Marcus Rashford's going to be 25 in October. So he's 24 and a half, right? Now, I don't know whether it's a FIFA generation thing or something, but I've watched football for 4 decades. I've been watching football, and 3.5 really. And not everybody becomes Neymar. Not everybody becomes. I'm not talking Messi and Ronaldo because they're Lewandowski. Not everyone becomes what they could be. In fact, probably in the time I've been watching football, 98% of players don't become the player that they could be. They'll have a flaw. Ashley Young's a prime example. 1 game every 10, you'd think if he played like that every game, he'd be world class. But he didn't. Throughout his whole career, Ashley Young as a winger, he'd have 1 or 2 games a season where he was untouchable. Then he'd have 30 games where he was average. Maybe Marcus Rashford's going to be that. Maybe he's going to be that player that can produce moments, but he's never going to be that player that keeps playing the right pass. Maybe he's always going to be that player that hits those shots. And sometimes they'll go in and you'll go, oh, he's amazing. But a lot of the time, it'll be like, why didn't you play the pass? Maybe that's what Rashford's going to be. But Mark Rashford is wrecking my head. He keeps shooting when he should pass and forces other players to be selfish, as Daniel C. Delo has genuinely improved defensively. He's becoming a more complete fullback, says Iram. I agree with you about Delo. I think it's quite interesting that with Delo that Ollie never really gave him a chance, isn't it? Yeah. Let's have a look. So Dele Alli's come on for Damari Gray after 25 minutes. He came on. Donny van der Beek on the bench still. And that game is into the second half, I think now. Yeah. 10 minutes into the second half. And it's 1-1. I don't think United need to be looking at substitutions yet. I would, but I just want to speak about Delo. A lot of you always went on about Delo. And when I was asked about Delo, I used to say, he's never going to get a chance at United. Because I knew he wasn't going to get a chance at United. I'd been told by a couple of people that Ollie just didn't rate him at all. His chances come because of the, it's 2-1 to Newcastle now. Well, I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad it's 2-1 to Newcastle because Lampard's a prat for not picking Donny. Anyway, back to more United matters. Ollie looks an idiot because Ollie overplayed Wan-Bissaka anyway. Whether you like Wan-Bissaka or not, and I do, there was times where he should have been rested and rotated because he was playing too many games. But Ollie looks really stupid over Delo because everyone knows that Rangnick's a better manager than Ollie. But Rangnick's come in and proven that Delo is arguably our best right back. And the question mark is, why was he not used before? And he's young. You know, think about it. If Ollie got his way, Trippier would have come in, who's 31 this year, and we would have let Delot go for a few million to AC Milan. Delot, I love Delot, says Matty Ross. Brilliant attitude. Look, I'm really glad it's working out for Delot. And it's exciting because, you know, all right, Marcus Rashford's 25 this year, but Delot is 23 in March. So he's not young anymore. We need to be, you know, it's a make or break season for Delot, and he's got a great opportunity in front of him. It's a good thing Ollie didn't play Delot, Mark. He would have made him look bad, and we probably would have sold him and gotten Trippier, says Bradley Clouch. And Mark, last 10 results section says 1-3 versus West Ham. Okay, says Vinicius. And Everton, I know. I like Ranić a lot. Would much rather keep him than go for Poch as DK. Look, all I want to say to everybody is, we're Manchester United. Don't become that sort of fan that flips after one result. Like, you know, you're going to give Ranić the job in the summer because he's 1-0 up against Burnley at half time. For me, let's see where we are at the end of the month, because we've got Atletico Madrid. We've got 5 Premier League games. If we can get 12 points from the next 5 games, that is fantastic. And I think that will give us a huge stepping stone for top 4. And look, the Ronaldo decision at the moment doesn't look like it's a big problem, does it? I didn't think it would be a massive problem, really. But Ronaldo will be pissed off. But if we win this game, then, you know, it's like, well, he will be pissed off, but we're winning. I mean, Burnley are in big trouble. They are 5 points from safety at the moment. And they've only got 2 games in hand. So Burnley are in big trouble. And will we see a reaction from them in the second half? Donny's on for Everton, apparently. Okay. Yeah. I can't see the league table. Oh, yeah, I can. So Newcastle would move up to 18 points if they win. Only 5 points. They'd only be 1 point off Everton, but 5 off Brentford. I predicted Brentford would go down. In fact, I had a wager with Paul Ince about this, and he was like, "No way are Brentford going down. They're too good to go down." And I said, "Let's see where they are come March, because when the going gets tough, they might bottle it." Anyway, second half's about to kick off. I think there's a substitution for Burnley here. I think. I'm not 100% sure, but they've kicked off. 2 seconds gone. Good play by Delot here. We just got to ride this out in the first few minutes. I'd like to see us start the second half like we started the first half. Get possession in the first few minutes and just take control of the game a little bit. I cannot wait for Ranić's first proper test against the top 6, says Jacob. Yeah, well, that's what I'm looking forward to as well, Jacob, because to be honest with you, if we took 12 or even 15 points from the next 5 games, we've got that March where we're going to play Man City, Liverpool and Tottenham. And if we lost all 3 of those, everyone would be like, oh, fucking hell, we're shit again. So we just got to take it game to game. Donny's coming on as a number 8, apparently. I don't know why Everton bought Dele Alli anyway. I think he's crap. Hold on a minute. Burnley on the attack. Good tackle by McTominay. Bad pass by Sancho. Apparently, we're only 800 followers away from 1 million on Twitter. So United Stand MUFC on Twitter. If you want to give us a follow, please do. We could hit it tonight. Surely there's an offside there. Good tackle by Maguire. Come on, Rashford. You've got to be stronger. Burnley have started off well here, but Delot with the interception. Here we go. Have a look. Have a look. Have a look. Nice ball out to Sancho. This is where United have got chances on the break. Sancho on his own. Go on your own, mate. Go on your own. Oh, Rashford, he nearly got in. On the break, United could win this. Burnley are obviously going to open up a little bit more here. God, what's going on here? He's got to be offside. Oh, for fuck's sake! For fuck's sake, United! How the fuck has that happened already? Oh, what is gone on defensively here? Weghorst has sent Maguire back to fucking Leicester, hasn't he? Bloody Harry Potter. I'm sure it's Weghorst. Harry Potter and the chamber of constant defensive fuck-ups. What a twat. It's like, I can't believe what's happened there. And again, it's another goal we've conceded where David De Gea can't do sod all because someone's shooting at him from 5 yards. How does it even happen? The pass comes into Weghorst. Maguire goes in. Oh, he sent him back to bloody Leicester. Party trick. Luke Shaw's playing him onside. He runs through. Maguire can't get back. Oh, it's a catalogue of errors from Maguire here. He gets turned and he's got no pace. It's the weakness of Harry Maguire. He gets turned and then he's got no pace to get back. That's an £80 million centre-back for you. For God's sake. I've got Draughty bloody humming Harry Potter's tune in my ear. I'd rather have Harry Potter at the back. Look, there's plenty of time to go on and win the game, but it's exactly what I said at half time. Burnley will go for it because they've got to, and you know what? If I was David De Gea, I'd be bloody fuming. There's, you know, if someone has a shot, you just want to be able to make a save. You can't make a save when someone's running at you from 5 yards away. I mean, it's not a dangerous situation. Weghorst, Maguire thinks, oh, he's slow, I can win it. He sends him back to Leicester, slips in Rodriguez, and anybody with any pace would get back at Rodriguez. It was like watching somebody run through cement. But unfortunately, we had a corpse chasing him. Like, I thought it was Varane. I thought Varane was chasing him, and I was like, this will be straightforward. We paid £80 million for that. Look, it doesn't mean we're not going to win the game. I'm not going to get too agitated yet, but I keep saying this about Maguire. He's not going to come good. He's always going to be an half-decent centre-back, but he's never going to be Van Dijk or Diaz, and that's what we paid for, and people need to get that in their head. We paid £80 million and £200,000 a week for somebody who's no better than Michael Keane. Like, there's nothing wrong with Michael Keane. He's a half-decent Premier League centre-back, but that's what Maguire is. He's not an £80 million, £200,000 a week, and he's definitely not a captain. I'm fed up of keep saying it. Like, you know, he might score the winner in this game. He might stop a goal, but he's just not good enough. He's cost us a goal there. Twice he's cost us a goal there. Oh. Does Maguire not know how to hold a defensive line? He rushes out completely, leaving the rest of his defence, says Matthew. Don't ever say Maguire is a good player, Mark. He's not even our third best centre-back. How many times has he been done by opponents like that? Bloody joke, says Julian. Mark, how much do you think Maguire would sell on the open market? We wouldn't get half our money back here. Does Maguire... Yeah, I've done that. I mean... I don't like doing it. I don't think anybody likes calling a player out. But the problem is, he's attached to that price. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, what a save by De Gea. I tell you what, my heart was going then. Weghorst has just hit it from 30 yards. I mean, who's near? Is anyone going to mark him? It's a great, I tell you what, it's a bloody fantastic save by David, that is. Really full stretch. It's a lovely shot by Weghorst and David De Gea. What a save by De Gea. Okay, now we've got to be careful here. Well, Burnley had no shots on goal in the first half, and they've had 2 in less than 8 minutes in this half. United need to lift their heads. This is it. You know what? I tell you what's more of a test for United under Ranić? It's what we do in the next 35 minutes, because too many times we should have won a game. It doesn't go our way. Our heads drop. So let's see if we can see something a little bit different in this second half now. Donny van Beek came on for Andre Gomez in that game, by the way. West Ham are beating Watford 1-0. West Ham would be in 4th if it stays like this. Lovely run by Delo. What a lovely run by Delo. So the game's so open. We've got to use our attacking players here. I don't want to see him taking off Paul Pogba. Got to keep these players on the pitch. Just get yourself back in the game. Get some composure going. Some people are saying they'd take Rashford off for Ronaldo. I can't believe there was actually some people on Twitter then that were blaming David De Gea for the goal. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. The defenders, the attacker's running at him. He probably thinks Maguire's going to put the tackle in, and he doesn't. Lovely play down the left-hand side here. Sancho's had a good game. Gets past 2 again. Really strong play by Sancho. Bruno's the pass. No, he's held on to it, but he's done well. He's got past him. So what's that? And again, how many times? Bruno shoots. Corner. Cocoy says, can you make a petition to take the captaincy away from the fridge? It's just so frustrating. Mark, do you think Maguire is even good enough for a pub team? Says Julie. And will you do a watch along for Club World Cup final? I have a feeling there's going to be a huge shock. I don't even know when it is, Lele. And I have a faith in Ranić that Maguire will lose his spot because of this, says Samuel. Let's have a look what happens here. Bruno. McTominay. Have a shot, Scott. No, he's going to go wide. Luke Shaw puts a cross in. Headed away. And they clear it away. I don't think Harry Maguire's terrible. I can't be bothered with that sort of opinion that, he's shit. He's a total crap bastard and all that. I can't believe. I don't subscribe to that. I don't think he's rubbish. He plays for England. He's not terrible. I just don't think he's a top 4 centre back. And we don't need to deal with it in extremes. I don't think he's terrible. I just don't think he's a top 4 centre back. I think we got mugged off, really. He's 20. He's 29 in 4 weeks. He's not going to suddenly find some pace. He's not going to suddenly become more agile. It's not like he's going to finish. It's not like a couple of weeks ago he's going to discover WD-40 and spray his hips and suddenly go, look at me. I've got John Travolta hips. I won't be getting turned again. It's not going to happen. He's going to become more slower. He's going to become more slower in the turn. He's not going to have the attributes that we need him to have. He's Michael Keane. He's Michael Keane of Everton. That's what he is. He's got his limitations. He's got his strengths. But for some reason, United decided to spend £80 million on him and give him the captaincy. And it's just never going to be that. No, I mean, Drotty just said Tyrone Mings. I mean, I suppose the only difference with Tyrone Mings is that Tyrone Mings is fast. But there are similarities. They've got limitations. Tyrone Mings is not a top 4 centre-back. Yeah, but he just played for England. I mean, personally, I think John Stones is on a different level to him, really. Rashford gets tackled again. You know what Deutsch has got him doing as well? They've started winning more second balls. We've got to start winning the second balls again. I don't know whether we're getting tired, but we've got to start winning the second balls. Veghorst just gone in on Tomney there. It was a bit naughty. That should have been a yellow card there, ref. Cavani's been invisible, says Abra. You know what? Actually, you're not wrong. I mean, I like Cavani. I'm not going to say Cavani's been shit because Ronaldo should have started. I guarantee you, Cavani's put a shift in, but he has been very quiet. And we've not actually played that bad, but Cavani has been very quiet. And maybe that's why Rangnick's used him. He's just there to occupy the centre backs whilst other players get the space. Remember when we all blamed Lindelof for Maguire's performance last season? He can't even play with Varane beside him, says Melav. And it's got to be in the contract that Maguire plays and stays captains because no way he can stay on form. His goals against record is one of the worst, as Michael Fetty. I'm just a little bit worried about how much Burnley are getting of this ball in the second half. I don't really understand it, to be honest. They've made a mistake here, though. Come on your toes. Here's Cavani. Now, this is where Cavani's dangerous. It's gone to Pogba. Go to Bruno. That's the ball. That's the ball. Bruno, terrible. This is what I'm talking about, United. This is where we're going to be tested. Ronaldo's coming on. This is where we're going to be tested. We're half an hour. We're 1-1. I think Matic is coming on as well. Half an hour to go. 1-1. We've had a good first half. We're forcing it. Stop forcing it and just get hold of the game. That's all we need to do. Get hold of the game. Simplify things again. Stop forcing the game. Stop panicking and simplify it. Because you've got to manage this game. Even if we go 2-1 up, Burnley will still fancy themselves to get back into it late on. So we've got to stop forcing this game. Formula One. Nice, yeah. Daniel Canning, how much is it? Daniel Canning, thanks for the super chat. Burnley been on the sneak at half time, says Joseph. Talking about that, Boohoo Man, thanks for them sponsoring the stream. I might be turning into a Boohoo Man myself if we fuck this up. But 40% off with the code United Stand. Oh, lovely run by Dwight McNeil. And they're in again. Side netting. You know my heart then. I saw bloody Harry Potter's mate shoots and I saw the net move. And I was about to lose my shit at David De Gea for the first time ever. I love De Gea. But if he'd have got done on the front post glitch by Veghorst, I think I'd have had to retire. You need to know FIFA to know what a front post... I was shitting myself then. I was like, oh my Christ. But that's not too bad. The Home Alone house was 320. I know. We were just talking. Joy was just talking to me here about the Formula One Lego set, which obviously probably people don't want to talk about with half an hour to go when it's 1-1 here. But United have not created a chance in this second half. Mark, watching both games and you as well, can't say I'm pissed with this club. Donny is such a solid technical and physical midfielder, disgraceful, says AJ. I'm gutted not to be able to watch it, mate. I am. Maguire's been booked now. Burnley are moaning that they should have been playing on. I didn't see what happens here, so up it goes. Oh, he's through one-on-one. I don't know whether... He's through one-on-one, basically. And... I think David De Gea was going to get there. Some people saying it's a red. 6th booking this season for Harry Maguire. Thank God I don't watch this mess anymore. Feel sorry for you, says Ready HD. I mean, it's crap defending by Maguire again, but I'm sure VAR would look at that if it was a possible red. There's a few people talking about Donny van der Beek. I mean, I'll save judgment for myself, obviously, but shot from McNeil, easy save for De Gea. But if anyone's watching the Everton game, I'm going to try and catch the last half an hour after I've done the match reaction. Donny's bossing it for Everton as a 6 mark, says Sam Claridge. Well, hopefully he'll get to start in the next game. That's our captain. What is he doing already? Gone, says Jack Brown 852. I'd make the subs now, you know. I mean, it's interesting. Rashford's gone to the left now. Oh, God. Leghorst, good play by Varane. McTominay does well. Go on, play the ball, Matt Scott. That's it. Pogba with a bit of space. Come on. We've took loads of Burnley players out here. There's got to be a ball. Wide to Rashford now. Let's look for the pass, Marcus. Look for the pass. Look for the pass. Does well. Does very well. See what happens when you pay a pass. Sancho, Bruno, better. That's better from Rashford because I thought he might shoot there. What subs are you thinking, Matty Ross? I think it'll be Cavani for Ronaldo because Cavani's not played in a while. Matic for Pogba maybe, but that's not what you want to do when you're trying to win a game. Do you think the dressing room divides are the reason why we can't get consistent free-flowing football, says Nick? I don't know, mate. I don't know. I mean, we can still win this game. We've just, however way you dress it, we've made hard work of a game that we should have won. Even in basketball, they teach you to defend with your feet. Luke Shaw. Oh, the cut back to Bruno was nearly on. And Maguire is defending with hands. Can we just release him for free, says Kia. Maguire is so slow, he needs to jump in and not let strikers run at him. Most of his mistakes come from that fear, says Humphrey. How can you say that after this, Maguire is okay? Ollie protected him with McFred, says John. Look, I'm not saying he's okay. I don't think he's actually good enough for United. But what I'm saying is some people just want to say he's absolutely shit. And I don't think he's absolutely shit. I think he's like, if he was playing... so Ronaldo's coming on here. I think if he was playing for Everton, he'd be a decent centre-back. There's a big... You know, it's like Paul Ince has said when he's been on the show. There's a Man United player and there's a non-Man United player. And I don't think Maguire is a Man United player. He's yet to convince me. And I don't know why he wears the captain's armband, but that's up to whoever tells him he's the captain. But he's a very limited centre-back who really, for me, should be playing for Everton. Lovely ball by Delo into Sancho. Please whip it in. Oh, unlucky. Probably should have crossed it first time. He's had a good game, Sancho, though. You know. Delo. Oh. What's McNeil doing there? Should have got rid of that. Go on. Watch out. Maguire's about. They've got a 4-3-3 here. Don't do it. Oh, they fucked it up. Thank God. Cornet. Over the bar. Fucking hell. Sean, thank you very much for the chat. Why does it seem Ollie got results with worse performances and Rangnick can't get the results with better performance? Baffling. Ollie was so goddamn a lucky manager, says Brijesh. Hey, there's a long way to go yet. We've got away with it here. 4v3 and we defended quite well with the 3 there. Cavani comes off for Ronaldo. I think that was inevitable. He's not happy. Give Maguire a red. At least he misses the next game, says GJ. Sancho's been my man of the match, says Jordan. Good shout. Yeah, probably not a bad shout. Probably not a bad shout. So 20 minutes for Ronaldo. I mean, the one thing I would say is it's all about service. Aaron Lennon's coming on for Burnley. It's all about service, isn't it? Jay says Maguire's stealing a wage. Cornet's coming off for Burnley, I think. Which is a bit of a positive for us because, well, actually, he's not played that well, has he? I know he's arguably Burnley's best player, but he hasn't actually played that well. Cavani mad to come off. I think the problem with Cavani is that he'll be frustrated because he's a hard-working player who's put a shift in and, again, not had any service. And if you think back to the first half, there was chances where Rashford could have put a cross in and he didn't. And I think, the graveyard shift, I'm sure when we do the match reaction player ratings, which will be coming out soon, a lot of people, I imagine Cavani will get a 5 or 6, but, it's not through lack of effort. Delo head and shoulders above everyone today, says Jam. Yeah, I think Delo's had a good game so far. Let's not... Nice to see Ronaldo on the pitch. Can he be a match winner? Can we talk about how Scott never tracks back? Druv, you know what? I try not to be negative about McTominay because there is no transfer window to buy anybody. And I personally would rather play McTominay than Fred or Matic. Do I think he's a good CDM? No, I don't. Do I think he's doing a job for us that he shouldn't be doing? Yes. But we haven't got anybody else. I can't change what I think about McTominay as a CDM. Whenever I've seen McTominay do well, it's been as an attacking box-to-box player. Well, he can't do that as a CDM, can he? So... I think he was considering bringing Matic on. Still time. You know what? I think we'll win this. Don't bet on it. I just got a feeling we've not really had a chance in this game. We just need to be clinical and take the chance. Newcastle are winning 3-1, by the way. This win puts Newcastle 1 point behind Everton, who I don't think will get relegated, but it starts to leave that bottom 3 looking very vulnerable. Cross comes in. Edge of the box. Terrible shot. Bruno. Ronaldo. 86 minutes. West Ham are winning as well. It's not a good result for us. There'll be a lot of Spurs and Arsenal fans hoping it stays like this. There's going to be a lot of United fans, like myself, who are very nervous about this. You can't be dropping points against bottom of the league. Pranav says, where's the urgency? Oh, good tackle there. Sancho was in. He's been good. I think Sancho's played really well. Right, are we going to whip this corner in? I can see Harry Maguire on the end of this. Cross comes in, edge of the box. Pogba, blocked. Maguire. I think sure I'll go back to the keeper. 20 minutes to go. Well, 20 minutes to go, says Geordie, and it's starting to get worrying. Tarkowski. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, fucking hell. I actually did it to his lips. It went to him, and I just thought I'll say a Deutsch thing, and he actually did go. He wasn't saying, oh, fucking hell, but it did work. Oh, fucking hell. Tarkowski's gone down. Wood. I mean, Woot. Keep going, lad. Keep doing it. Do it. Come to daddy. Sean Dyke. Are you all right, James? Solid as a rock, Tarkowski. Look at that. Keep it going. Keep it going, lads. I've ordered more rain on Amazon. It'll be here in 10 minutes. Been a bit of wind. Last 10 minutes, it's going to get windy. Here we go. Bit of space for Sancho again. Oh, he's got tackled there. I like the idea of Matic for 36% of the game at the 6 if Fred or Scott can manage to do a job there, says Sean Finity. Harry Maguire, oh my God, is he having a laugh as someone blagged his way into Manchester and professional football? He is terrible. He's our problem, says Sean. I put it on Twitter. Sancho's proper exciting, says Matty Ross. I put it on Twitter. No matter what the result of this game, even if we win it, Lindelof's got to start against Southampton. We can't have more. We can't concede. Can't keep conceding goals like that. You know, we've got to make a change at the back. This game, we should still be winning 1-0. Please subscribe, by the way. We're on the road to 270,000. We're only 500 away. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. I'm going to whack the link in the video description for player ratings. Obviously, the game's not over yet, but you can mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. Very quiet second half for Marcus Rashford again. I mean, maybe he's going to be a match winner. Maybe that's what he's there for, but a very quiet second half from him. Am I starting to get nervous? I still think we're going to win it, but, you know, I'm realistic. Not bloody stupid. I mean, look, we've not played well second half, and anything's possible. Bruno with the free kick. Come on, Harry. Oh, for fuck's sake, right across the 6-yard box. Shoot, Scott, shoot. Scooby-Doo, Ronaldo, Pogba, Rashford. Cross it. For God's sake, cross it. Yes. Corner. What's Rashford moaning about there? I can't believe he's moaning at someone for giving him a bad pass. Oh, well. Links in the video description if you want to do your player ratings. Let's see what happens with this corner. Oh. $15 to go. Back to the keeper. Everton are going to lose 3-1 to Newcastle. Massive win for them. They're looking like they're going to stay up now. Ronaldo's going to win it. I hope so. Just a flat second half by United, isn't it? I mean, I need to start taking some notes here. It's you know, this is not a surprise to United fans, though, is it? And this is the problem that we've got over the next few games when we're playing teams like Southampton and Brighton, and if we don't put them away, if we don't put these teams away, there's always the chance in the second half that we might bottle it a little bit. And inconsistency is what we are. We're just inconsistent. You know, we've got good players on the pitch and we're inconsistent. Surely this might be worth a shot from Rashford here. I wouldn't normally say it, but it might be worth a shot from Rashford. It's raining. It's 30 yards. Well, actually, forget Rashford. Ronaldo, of course. Fucking hell, you've got Ronaldo on the pitch. It might be worth one of those Ronaldos dip it up in front of the keeper. I tell you what, our corners are a shambles, though, because if you watch James Garner, Ronaldo's not going to have it. Bruno's going to have it. If you watch James Garner, same football pitch, and he can whip a cross in. Another corner here. What happened to the coach that we took in to help with corners, says Maz? Ramsey. Yeah, it's crap. He's not doing very well at the moment, is he? Another corner for United here. We've had enough corners. We just can't bloody score them. Luke Shaw's on it. Come on. This would destroy Dyche if it went in. Oh, fucking hell. As you can see, it didn't go in. Here's Rashford on the right, on the left. Put the cross in. Oh, good play by Rashford there, to be fair. And Varane, it's another corner. He did well here, Rashford. Give him his credit. Quick feet. Put the cross in as well. Yeah, he did well. He did really well there, Rashford. Give him some credit. Another corner. Gone short. Oh, Ronaldo. Should he score this? I think he should. Player of his quality. Level with the 6-yard box. Gets up. Yeah, he should score that. Good cross from short. $12 to go. West Ham have won 1-0. Bowen with the goal against Watford. That puts them up to, I think they're 4th at the moment. Yeah, they've got 40 points. We've got 39 at the moment. We'd have if we don't win this, we'd have 39 points. And Spurs would have 3 points less than us with 3 games in hand. Get your arse into gear, lads, and find a bloody win. Shouldn't we go even more attacking? Ferguson style, Lingard and Elanga for sure, and McTominay now or never, says Vikram. Well, he did it against West Ham. Rashford's a different player, says Nathan. Now he's passing more. 10 minutes to go. Lingard's coming on. McTominay's going off, so he is going for it. There you go. There's your answer. Lingard for McTominay. Ralph going for it again. Give him his credit. He knows. He knew against West Ham, and he knows here. He's got to go for it. Loads of attacking players for United. We're going to take the initiative. Lingard with the cross. Pope takes it in. Donald says, Mark, you seem mad. I'm tentative, mate. I'm not mad. I'm tentative. I'm worried. Although, I've got to be honest, we're going for the win here. And I like it. That makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. I think that was a good tackle by Bruno there. Biggie Third says players should start tweeting that Rangnick's a liar, and then more people you'll get on the pitch. There's the low. Oh, I wish he'd crossed it first time. He's over it, that one. Bloody hell, look at Rashford throwing his arms up in the air about Delow there. I mean, for fuck's sake, mate, you're the one who shoots from loads of positions. I mean, Delow's probably been our best player on the pitch. We have a manager that wants to go for the win in these scenarios for the first time in years, and I love it, says Nick97. I don't want to see players, whether it's Bruno, Sancho, Ronaldo, Rashford, Lingard, I don't want to see them throwing their hands in the air. It's not been a great second half, but there's 10 minutes to go. It takes 1 goal to win it. You know, I don't care if Dyche is saying at the end, you know what, we deserve more than that. A win's a win. 2-1's a win. It's the same as 5-0. You get 3 points. Oh, clear it. Clear it. Dwight McNeil here. Oh, he's done very well. Play on, David. Play on, David. Oh, come on. 7 minutes to go here, plus stoppage time. Plenty of time. Just calm it. Don't force it. Use the ball. Bruno, that's it. Keep it simple. That's it. Into Rashford. Oh, for fuck's sake. All right, he's got no one with him. Oh. Burnley on the attack. It's going to be a draw, says Alanga's coming on. It's going to be a draw, says Andreas. Alanga's coming on. All Burnley now, says Scott Porter. It's not all Burnley now. What's a good header that is. Come on, be careful. Goal kick. Yeah, goal kick. The Burnley crowd are singing. Alanga's coming on for Rashford. Yeah, right decision there, ref. Come on, Anthony. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. 50,000 watching. It's tense. I'm sure there's a few wanting Burnley to win this, but hopefully you're going to be disappointed. 5 minutes to go. Lots of attackers on. Rangnick's going for it. He knows the importance of this. He did it against West Ham. He's going for it. We've got no holding midfielder on the pitch, really. McTominay's gone off for Lingard. I don't actually know, based on our first half performance, how we've got ourselves into this position. I mean, really, apart from that long shot from Weghorst, it's just defensive error by Maguire and Luke Shaw keeping him on side that's got them back in this game. And we should have been out of sight at half time, but it's a funny old game, football. And I'm sure Burnley will feel hard done by if we get a late winner. I couldn't give a shit. Here's Alanga. Ronaldo doing his best rendition of musical statues, says Rash. What are you talking about? Mate, you're just you're a Ronaldo hater, you are. We don't need any of that in the chat. I don't care who scores. Harry Maguire could score. I don't really care. It's about United getting 3 points here. Can't be dropping points against bottom of the league. It just gives a massive boost to everyone else in the top four race. If we get a late winner here, it will destroy the confidence of Spurs and Arsenal because we did it against West Ham. And it will just start getting into people's head. That's it. Keep the ball on. See, now we're moving up the pitch. Keep the possession. Zedel says Burnley deserve the win. What are you talking about? Sancho with the cross. Is it another corner? No, I think it's a massive 5 minutes. You know, I said this last night. If you win this game, you take a bit of momentum into Southampton. You win that game, you've got 6 from 6, 9 if you include the West Ham game. If you draw this game, it just sends you into the next games with more pressure. We used to be second halves FC, says Zakid. Yeah, we did. And you know, we decided to be first halves FC. I really hope we win, Mark. We have been the kings of bottling every game these days, says Samir. United seem weaker with tons of investment. What will it take for us to actually challenge across a full season, says Grave. Links in the video description if you want to do your player ratings. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. Substitution here by they're bringing on Harvey Barnes. Barnes and Wood it used to be in the good old days. I can't do Sean Dyche tonight. Oh, Sancho's hurt his knee. Let's hope that's nothing bad. Might be just a bit of a bang. $88 minutes. We're going to have to do it late. We need a bit of we need to bring Marty Pello on because it's wet, wet, wet. But no one will know who Marty Pello is. Let's be honest. Droughty singing wet, wet, wet songs now. To be fair, it's been better than Maguire's performance. Come on. Lovely direct run by Alanga. Is it to Lingard? Edge of the box for Bruno. Edge of the box for Bruno. Cross comes in. He's over it, has he? Another corner. No. Sancho. Still time. Still time. Sancho stands his man up. Good run into the box. Bruno can whip these. It's a good cross. It's a good header away. Ronaldo wasn't going to get that. Here we go. Sancho's got a lot of space. Cross shot. Ooh, come on. We need that Rashford moment here again that we had against West Ham. It won't be Rashford. He's off the pitch. It won't be Cavani's cross. He's off the pitch. Fine margins. That's what Ollie used to say. Big shout out to Boohoo Man for sponsoring the stream, by the way. You can get 40% off. I'm wearing some of their stuff with the code United Stand. We're nearly in the 90th minute. Next goal wins. Alanga. What a cross! Oh! Is that Ronaldo again? Is he switched on? Is he focused? You've got to ask the question. A cross is good. I think Ronaldo's had 2 headers tonight that I'd expect him to do a little bit better on both of those, to be fair. How long's he adding on? We're into the 90th minute here. That was a cracking save by De Gea, that was, from Weghorst. What a save that was. How long's he added on? I don't fucking know. How long's he added on, everyone? Four minutes. I can't see 4 minutes. Bollocks, I wasn't looking. Links in the video description for player ratings. That's a corner. It's giving a goal kick. It's a corner. Cool, 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 cool. Cool, 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 cool. 4 minutes to go. 4 minutes added on, sorry. We've had 1 minute of it already. We've made, I mean, to be honest, they equalised with half an hour to go, didn't they? It's similar to Borough. They equalise. We have plenty of time to get back in and win it. And the heads drop again. We've got such a weak mentality. At what point are we going to prove that we can do it? Go on, go to Jesse. It's got to be worth a cross there, Jesse. Good cross. Pope's got that all day. Oh, corner. Got caught underneath it. Now's the time to score your first bloody corner. Harry Maguire, redeem yourself. Varane is low-key amazing. We haven't played poorly. However, we're just missing that little final touch, says Wazim. Here's Luke Shaw. He's going to put it in. We're going to break the corner, Duck, with a Harry Maguire header here. Up he goes. Oh, out it goes. Bruno. Pogba. Bruno. Blocked. He needed to cross that. He didn't need to shoot. He needed to cross. A minute and a half to go. Burnley have got the bloody ball now. I tell you what, I'm going to lose my shit if we don't win this. Oh, good tackle. Slip Ronaldo in. This is it. Oh, he's not shooting for... Lingard, edge of the box. Shoot. Oh, corner. This is it. This is the game. We're going to go for a short corner, aren't we? Don't go for a short corner, Bruno. This is the game. Oh, bloody Maguire. He's bloody headed it wide. That's it. He's bloody shouldered it. Get your bloody head on it. We paid £80 million for your forehead. Well, you're the reason we bloody dropped the points here. I'm sorry. You are. They've had 2 decent chances. One of them would have been a worldie, and it was a world-class save from De Gea. And then a bloody mess. He's cost us 3 points here. And there it is. Fucking hell. How have we drawn that? Oh, I tell you what. The door's wide open, Spurs. The door's wide open, Arsenal. That's a bloody disappointing draw. What's the excuse? What is the excuse? Tell me what the excuse is there. We ain't got nobody missing. That's basically our squad. There's no one to come back. There's nobody injured. That's our squad. And we're drawing against Burnley. That's a bloody joke, that is. Weak mentality again. Oh, fucking hell. So, we're in 5th with 39 points. We're 3 points ahead of Arsenal and Tottenham. Arsenal have got 2 games in hand and Tottenham have got 3. Scooby-Doo. Links in the video description for player ratings. I will join you there. I've got lots of notes. I'm absolutely fuming with that. Ultimately, we have bottled that game because of our captain. How can you win games when your captain is costing you the games? Crap. Get him out of the team and put Lindelof back in. You never should have put him back in the bloody first place. Fair play to Burnley. I don't think they're very good, but second half, they've done the job. Right, links in the video description. Player ratings, mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. It's going to be very interesting to see what your player ratings are, because I thought 2 players played fantastically well. The others, not so much. Link in the video description for that. I'll see you on the match reaction in a moment. It should push you all over there automatically. I'll be there in a minute.